Hello, and welcome to our next quarantine theater company reading. We are reading Can't Buy Me Love tonight, the 80s classic starring McDreamy Patrick. I forget his last name. What is his last name?
Dempsey. Dempsey.
We were just talking about Star Trek, and I'm like, I know it's not Stewart.
Uh-uh.
Anyway, thanks, Jen, for the assist.
You're
Joining
welcome.
us tonight is Travis. He's going to be doing our scene description. Yay, Travis. Uh, our Ronald slash Ronnie tonight is going to be Logan. Sorry, I had to Travis that. It's Logan. It's not Logan. I will be Cindy amongst many other characters. Karina is joining us. Yay. Karina is going to be Patty and basically a bunch of students. You're like half the student body. And then that brings us to Jen, who's the other half of the student body, and Mrs. Mancini. So without
Everyone's
further ado,
mom.
take us away.
Can't Buy Me Love by Michael Swerdlick. Nice guy. All right. Fade in, exterior, suburbia afternoon. From high above, we can feel the peace and serenity of this upper middle class neighborhood. The swimming pools, the manicured lawns. We now notice a dot moving methodically, making continuous right hand turns. Haha, this is a NASCAR. And changing this particular lawn from dark to light green. As we continue to pan down to the moving dot, serenity is replaced with the sound of throbbing motor, but not the other thing. Exterior Mancini front yard, same time, POV of someone watching Ronald Miller riding his power mower and changing the contour of suburbia. Ronald, the 17-year-old admirer, and proceeds to put on a show. He definitely cuts his mower around a forgotten baseball glove, narrowing corners, some automatic sprinklers, and does a fancy zigzag around some hedges. Ronald finishes and stops his mower to the cheering of his admirer. Ronald smiles and bows to his one-person audience, an 8-year-old boy who is polishing off a box of almost home fudge cookies. The sweet Ronald, we are the sweaty and disheveled-looking Ronald, hustles to the front door of the house, waving off an offer of a cookie. There is a definite zip to his gulp as he is feeling good. Ronald rings the doorbell, ring ring, and smiles as he looks back to see the boy petting his mower. Weirdo. Exterior Mancini porch. Afternoon. The door of the house is opened by Mrs. Mancini, a very attractive and hip 40-year-old.
I'm muted. Anyway, exquisite job, Ronald.
Ronald nods as he tries to look into the house.
Now you can spend your hard earned summer money on something wonderful for your senior year, like a car or a scooter.
Actually, I'm going to purchase a 30 megabyte hard disk to complement my system. It has a 5 millisecond access time.
Ronald stops short when he realizes Mrs. Mancini could care less about his computer. Ronald hands her some change from a huge cash roll.
That's real interesting, Ronald. I know my Cindy is looking forward to her senior year. The football games, the parties, the prom.
I can't wait. Thanks.
Ronald waves as he goes back to his mower, where the boy offers him another cookie. Ronald pulls up a portable rake and begins to clean up grass clippings. His attention is suddenly attracted by the screen of a fire red Mustang convertible pulling into the Mancini driveway. Music blares from the car. Out of the car bops Cindy Mancini, a knockout 17-year-old, and her very two attractive friends, Patty Killen and Barbara Grant. The girls are dressed to kill as they pull boxes and hangers of newly bought clothing from the car. The boy sees the girls is turned off and leans in a huff. Ronald ditches the rake and pretends like he's working on the motor. Ronald watches them think they are looking at him and waves. The girls don't respond. The girls talk in a rap form as they walk to the front door. We're number one. We're so cool. Well, Patty,
Mess with us, you be the fool.
We got the teams, we got the class.
On or off
On
the
or off the field,
kick
we'll
your
kick your ass. The girls break out laughing. Ha! Continue. Ronald tenses as they are about to pass within a few feet of him. Ronald attempts a weak hello as they pass him, but it goes unacknowledged. Ronald takes a step closer to try again, and this time he stumbles into his mower, tripping a switch that blows grass clippings directly into his face. The girls catch the splendor out of the corner of their eyes and giggle as they reach the front porch. Interior Mancini foyer, same time. Mrs. Mancini studies the many packages as she opens the door from the girls. Patty and Barbara go past.
My credit card, please, and don't you dare insult my foyer, Travis.
Who's that? Cindy hands her six credit cards. Mrs. Mancini was only expecting one.
I thought I told you only the Bloomingdale's card.
But school starts on Tuesday.
Mrs. Mancini can only shake her head. Mrs. Mancini looks out the open door at Ronald, who is brushing grass off his body.
Responsibility, Cindy. Look at Ronald. He's such a conscientious young businessman.
Cindy gives Ronald a serious look.
Get real, Ma.
Mrs. Mancini shuts the door. Title is shown on the front door. Continue credits over. Exterior suburban streets later. We see Ronald make the long, slow ride up on his power mower. An elderly couple jogs past him as two kids on a bicycle. Continued. Ronald approaches a light which turns red just as he gets to the crossing. A souped-up convertible loaded with attractive, cool, fun-loving high school girls pulls up alongside Ronald. They point in his direction and laugh. Ronald is embarrassed and tries to look the other way. He spies the light, still red. It seems eternal. Ronald, trying to act occupied, fidgets with the controls. He accidentally hits the wrong switch, which hurtles a load of grass clippings into the convertible. The girls shriek as they are covered with grass. The light turns green. They speed off, calling him a geek and giving him the finger. Ronald sadly shakes his head as his mower slowly crawls across the intersection. Credits end. Exterior Miller House. Later that afternoon, Ronald closes his lawnmower shed and enters his nice suburban home. Interior Miller kitchen same time. Ronald rumbles into the kitchen and studies a list of chorus as he opens the fridge for some milk. He sees 6 chores for him and 1 for Chucky. Ronald squints and checks the list again as Chucky, his ultra-cool 12-year-old brother, enters with some buddies.
Travis, you're Chucky.
Oh, I'm Chucky too. Oh, Lieutenant of Lawns, Master of Mulching, Pharaoh of Fertilizer. What's current?
Why do I have all the chores again?
Hey, dude, that's the way the big lady wants it. As a mother, she's entitled to make such critical domestic decisions.
You're up to something, Chuck.
Me? Me? A family member?
I'll do this stuff later. Kenneth's meeting me at the high school.
Wow, you guys gonna reserve seats for calculus?
Funny.
Chucky's buddies study the chore list. Your mom is a great humanitarian. You serious? My mom would ground me till I passed puberty. It's all on the wrist, my man. Chucky demonstrates how he mastered his mother's handwriting by adding another chore to Ronald's list. Dismantle the treehouse. The buddies laugh and high five. Interior Cindy's room later. Patty and Barbara dance to another rap version of a high school cheer. We pan to the room to see several poster-sized pictures of Cindy and a handsome football player. Cindy checks out her new clothing. The phone rings. Patty dives for it. She slams the phone and screams.
Channel 5, quick, Bobby's on.
Barbara puts on the tube. Cindy drops her clothing on the bed and focuses on the TV. On TV, an announcer is introducing star athlete Bobby Hilton. Cindy is excited.
So, Bobby, what's that one special thing you miss about the old hometown?
The handsome Bobby thinks for a moment. The girls are all excited. They lean forward in anticipation.
You don't mind if I get a little personal?
I can't believe it. Cindy's name's on TV.
What I miss the most is something that really made me feel good after a long practice.
You're so lucky. Cindy shushes them quiet.
You know, I really miss the hydro massage machine in the old high school gym.
Bobby smiles and exits the shot. The announcer closes out the girls, especially Cindy, are disappointed. She looks at a picture of her and Bobby. The girls look towards Cindy.
It's no felony. I mean, like, he's under a lot of pressure trying to keep his mind on football. Oh, God. We better go. We're late for practice.
Exterior high school later, Ronald rides his bike onto the high school grounds and pedals beneath the football stadium bleachers. Handsome football players practice on the field as cute cheerleaders, including Cindy, Patty, and Barbara, practice on the sidelines. Ronald is directly across from the cheerleaders. We get the feeling this is a ritual for him. He is the outsider watching unseen, the cool kids, laughing and enjoying themselves. Interior school, Ronald walks the clean, shiny, and empty hallways that is only a few days will be jammed with students returning from summer vacation. Interior biology lab. Ronald enters a room, faces out the football bleachers. Kenneth Worman, a less attractive and nerdier version of Ronald, intently assembles a skeleton.
Hey, Kenneth.
1 millisecond, Ronald. Ronald goes to the window and stares out at Cindy and the cools. Kenneth finishes and walks over to the mesmerized Ronald. Buy your hard disk system yet? You better accelerate $1,000 for that hardware is grand larceny. Kenneth waves his hand in front of Ronald's eyes. Ronald snaps out of his trance. A little nervous about the capital outlay.
No, it's not the disc. Just done a lot of thinking about that.
Ronald points in the direction of the cools sitting in the bleachers. Kenneth looks out the window. The field could use some water. Their irrigation system is very irrigated.
Irrigation? I'm talking about that. The cool clique.
Why would you be thinking about them? They're certainly not conscious of us.
That's my point. Wouldn't it be fun to party with those guys our senior year? Go to the games.
We do go to the football games.
We sit in the visiting section, Kenneth, at our own school. This is supposed to be our big year. The prom, the parties, homecoming, memories.
I don't comprehend. We've got plenty of memories. The video parlor, computer club, our card games on Saturday nights.
Cards. Cards for inmates in prison, not seniors in high school.
Ronald realizes his tone has hurt Kenneth.
Sorry, Kenneth. We do have a lot of great memories, but wouldn't you want to be part of their clique? We were all friends in elementary.
That's because we were all forced to be together, but junior high, forget it. That's where the jocks became the jocks, the cheerleaders became the cheerleaders, and we became us.
You wouldn't want to hang with them?
Why? You'd be hanging on Cindy Mancini's lawn for 5 years, and she doesn't even know if you have a pulse. Ronald's enthusiasm fades as he sits down. He looks out the window at Cindy. You have a crush on Cindy. Most living organisms do, but she's out of our league. She's out of everyone's league. They want us about as much as they want physics in summer school.
What's wrong with summer school physics?
That's my point. Exterior bleachers later, Cindy sits with Patty and Barbara. Other cheerleaders in the background. Cindy sees someone approaching.
Sleaze master himself.
Quint Kunkwatsky, what a name, enters the frame. He is a nasty-looking football player. Quint pounds his hands and snaps his fingers.
I can't snap, but lovely ladies. Miss Mancini, looking good like I knew you would.
The girls are about to gag, especially Cindy. Two other football players, handsome Ricky List and the well-built, attractive John Richmond, enter. Stomach muscles rippling from their football midriff. Midriff.
Yeah, beautiful block. All state this year, no question. Oh, Quinton, my man hombre, party at my place tomorrow?
I'm so there.
Quint, Big, John, and Ricky look down the bleachers at four younger-looking junior varsity cheerleaders.
Um, New recruits. Huh, being a senior is a beautiful thing. I can taste it now.
Quint starts to strut over the giggling girls. Cindy and her crowd watch him. They shake their heads in disgust as they head for the showers.
Those kids better watch their mini pads.
Oh, Patty and Barbara crack up. Interior biology lab. Later, POV, Kenneth watching Quint hit on the girls. Ronald is busy tumbling through 2 yearbooks. See, it's hopeless. The jocks even have monopoly on the incoming freshmen.
Explain this.
We see a candid shot from last year's yearbook of a nerded out guy with two hot babes hanging all over him. Last year's yearbook, Victor Grimaldi. So what? Ronald quickly flips the pages of the yearbook from 2 years ago to the computer club picture. Wall to wall geeks. Ronald points.
So what? How do you explain the ultimate bookworm geek associating with last year's homecoming queens? Look at this guy. He's pathetic. He makes us look like Miami Vice.
Kenneth takes off his glasses and squints at the picture. He moves Ronald's finger. That's me. He's over there. Ronald thumbs back to the picture of Victor and the hot babes in the other yearbook.
Sorry, Kenneth, I just don't understand how Grimaldi leveraged these. On a 1 to 10 scale, they're 14s.
There's no logical explanation. It's an inexplicable phenomena, kind of like Bermuda Triangle. An occurrence like Victor only happens once every 40 or 50 years. I have to leave. Remember, cards at Lewis's tomorrow night. Your turn to bring the brew. Ronald nods as Kenneth exits. Ronald yells out.
There's a logical explanation for everything.
Interior girls' locker room later. Cindy, Patty, and Barbara gather in closed gym bags. Patty holds up a pair of pants. Other cheerleaders in the background.
These pants fit me like a layer of skin.
And John would like that skin wrapped around his,
It's not fair to talk sex when Bobby is 2,000 miles away.
Come on, Sid. You could have your own pick of any guy in school.
I'd rather have my pick of any rack at Neiman Marcus.
Just read your mom. She's the best dressed lady in town.
And risk death, or worse, grounding. Ugh. I don't get my mom. She has Gucci and every other designer locked in her cedar closet and won't let me wear any of them. So when I try to make up for it by spinning some plastic at the mall, she does a full-on freak.
Parents sure can get brutal when it comes to Visa or MasterCard. The girls all nod in agreement. Interior computer room later, Ronald studies the picture of Victor and the babes.
For a logical explanation. Okay, Victor Grimaldi and Mary Hancock's.
We see the following on a computer screen intercut with Ronald's reactions. Ronald looks around to make sure no one is there. Coast is clear. Ronald types a code into the computer. We see Mary Hancock's name, then her junior year grades. Ronald then types algebra to get her Pacific grades, and we see 68, 56, 31, 45, and 97 on her final. Ronald then goes the same for her chemistry grades and sees 55, 70, nothing, 68, and 98 on the final. Ronald is shocked. She ended up with B's in both classes, thanks to her finals. Ronald then types another code to get seating charts for both these classes. Mary Hancock is seated next to Victor Grimaldi in each class. Ronald quickly punches up Victor's final exams. Below Mary's final exam, they are identical, 97, 97, and 98, 98. Ronald smiles from ear to ear as he studies the computer screen.
He saved her from failing. She owed him her life. Whose life am I going to save?
Ronald punches a code in the computer, spits out paper filled with his classmates' names and grades. Ronald rubs his hands together. He shuffles through the wad of paper. He thinks he's figured it out. He sees nothing on one sheet and flips to another list. He stops.
Aha. Barbara Grant, BBA. Shoot.
Ronald hits a key. More paper comes out. Nothing. More paper.
Cindy Mancini, numero uno. Let's see. BBA. No way, the beauty with brains. Now that's an inexplicable phenomenon.
Ronald is getting frustrated. He hits another key. Paper flies out of the printer. He tries to stop it. He can't. He's covered with paper. The printer stops.
There's got to be one girl on the edge of failure.
He randomly looks at a page. Jackpot.
D, F, D. Oh my God, F minus? Bambi LeBrock? Bambi LeBrock. Popularity, here I come. I am totally in. Phys ed, A. She must be a gymnast. Yes!
Ronald dashes out of the computer room. Interior high school gym later. Ronald enters the gym. He sees a bevy of attractive, well-toned gymnasts. He's excited. He approaches a woman gym teacher.
Excuse me, which one is Bambi LeBrock?
The woman gym teacher points in the opposite direction of the gymnast. Ronnie looks. Bambi LeBrock is the 200-pound heavyweight on the girls' wrestling team. She flips a 250-pound male wrestler and spins him. She's an animal. Ronald smiles, fades. Exterior street, late afternoon. Ronald rides home on his bicycle. He's depressed. He stops at a red light. Pulls up a black Ferrari with a scrawny, Weasley-looking driver. Ultimate Geek, a gorgeous Amazon blonde brick, is in the passenger seat, fondling the weasel. Wow, that's an interesting line there. Ronald is amazed at this combination. Total mismatch. The weasel looks at Ronald on his bike and smiles as he speeds through the green light. Ronald cheers up. Ronald watches the Ferrari cruise. Exterior Miller driveway later. Pull back to show David Miller, Ronald's father, washing a very conservative, bland station wagon that has the tile world loudly painted on the side. David grooves to the 60s tune, Hang On Sloopy. Yeah, David stops singing and acknowledges Ronald.
Looks clean, Dad.
Remember, anytime you want to borrow this little beauty for a night on the town, just ask. Pull back to reveal Ronald leaning on his bicycle, shaking his head. He's depressed. Interior Mancini house night. Cindy opens the door to reveal Vincent Carbone, a slimy, slimy yet good-looking 45-year-old hunk of a loud, cheap jewelry and mucho chest hair.
Wow. Your mom was right. Beauty runs in the family, and I mean, it runs fast.
Cindy looks ready to gag. Vincent prims his greasy hair in the mirror. Mrs. Mancini enters dressed to the nines.
Mom, are you there?
Mrs. Mancini.
Okay. You met my little baby.
Baby? I thought she was your twin sister.
Mrs. Mancini giggles. Cindy is ready to barf.
I'll be home late.
Vincent goes to shake Cindy's hand. She unsuccessfully tries to pull back. Vincent winks at her as she exits. Mrs. Mancini stops at the door out of Vincent's earshot.
Isn't he great?
Yeah, if you need your car lubed.
Mrs. Mancini shakes her head and exits. Interior Cindy's room later. Cindy is shaking her head as she enters her room. She puts some pieces of an outfit up to her body. She is not pleased with what she sees in the mirror. Cindy gets an idea and puts the outfit back on her bed. Cindy slowly and cautiously moves down a dimly lit hallway. The feeling is eerie and quiet in the dim light. Cindy stops, looks around, then enters a dark room. She approaches another door, turns the knob, then backs off. Maybe she should not enter. Cindy takes a deep breath, opens the door, and turns on the lighting. It's her mother. Cedar's closet. A devious smile forms on her face when she pulls an exquisite white suede jacket from an oriental garment bag. Interior.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Which part?
What was the jacket?
The white suede jacket from an ornate garment bag?
Yeah, that's what I thought I said.
Not even close.
Oh.
And Sudi.
Definitely
But it
said
was a
Oriental.
suede jacket.
Well, they're rich, so they could probably afford that one too. But that's not important. Let's go to Miller's dining room later that night. Ronald is at the table studying his computer desk brochure. David and Judy Miller. Oh wow! His parents eat. Chucky stands. Wendy plays in the background. David hums along.
Ronald, not at the dinner table, please.
Ronald puts his brochure down. Have enough money?
$1,300. I mowed 286.4 miles of grass this summer. That's $4.54 a mile.
Chucky is still you, Travis.
Oh, well, I guess I'm Chucky. The Ronald Miller story, My Life on a Mower. Ronald gives Chucky a look.
You're buying the whatever tomorrow?
On sale at the mall for $1,000. I'm depositing the remainder in the bank Monday at a 7.3 compounded daily.
I'm so proud of you, Ron. You worked, you earned, you saved. You asked, how about 20 Big Dave? Gotta purchase some necessities. David smiles, untousles Chucky's hair, and hands him a 20. Ronald's melts. Big Dave. What's up? Pizza party at Julie's preschool jam session. How about you? Any parties?
Yeah, the Saturday night card game.
Woo! Cards with the tards.
Funny, Chuck.
I'm only kidding. How could you beat a night of cards, chips, dips, and dorks? Interior game room later that night. A green felt table covered with a card game. Ronald, Kenneth, and two ultra nerds, Albert and Lester, play. The table is littered with pretzel sticks, Cheetos, dips, and root beers. Lester smokes with the pretzel stick like it with lit with a cigar. The cards have pictures of scantily clad women on them.
Lester, kindly be decent enough to wipe your oily appendages after consuming the potato chips. My ladies are slipping out of my hands.
Look who's talking, Lamo. You're the genius who got the dip on the chips. The poker chips.
Come on, you two, just play the game. Ronald daydreaming.
Kenneth's right. Let's relax and enjoy. It's Saturday night and we've got nude cards, chips, and icy cold brews. This is the life.
Albert swings on a frosty can of root beer. Lester toasts him between puffs of his pretzel stick cigar. Kenneth smiles. Your deal. No response. Ronald, you okay?
Let's do something different.
Silence. Shocked looks from the boys. What do you mean? The boys look nervous. Something new?
We've been playing poker for 2 years. Let's play another game.
The boys breathe a sigh of relief. Ronald looks at the guys.
Hearts.
Interior Johnny's house night. The front door is open to reveal Cindy dressed to kill in her mom's white jacket. A lively, cool crowd party is in the process. Patty and Barbara greet Cindy. The girls are infatuated with the jacket. Patty pets the Sudi or Sudu. They pat it.
Wade, Travis.
Oh,
Jeez.
Cindy is nonchalant.
It's no biggie. Bobby sent me this suede jacket from Texas. You know they have fine leathers there. Mm-hmm.
Really? It's like Rome, Texas, and Paris when it comes to quality leather.
Interior party. Later, the party cranks. Ricky makes eye contact with cute sophomore JV cheerleader from before. Smoke, laughter, music. Quint pours some cheap red wine into a goblet as he holds court with some girls on the porch.
Did I tell any of you girls about my many scholarship offers?
The girls all nod yes in unison. Interior bathroom later, a crowded, smoke-filled bathroom. 5 girls are cramped into it. Patty and Barbara check out makeup and hair. Iris, a sexy little bombshell, and 2 younger-looking sophomore girls, one of which was the cute sophomore Ricky was just eyeing. Iris has one extremely revealing tank top. She looks in the mirror.
You don't think the show's too much?
Major understatement. Her nipples stick out.
Not if the person looking at it is blind.
Or brain dead. Iris is pleased with their response.
When a guy gets off, that kook can really hurt you.
Sophomore 2 looks confused. Patty jumps in.
Hurt you. Taste that stuff and he may go totally insane or develop scales around your navel.
The cute sophomore looks scared. Barbara winks at Patty. Yeah, the way to avoid contact is to keep your finger behind the guy's ear when you feel his glad twitch. It means he's about to flood. Continue the sophomores reach behind their ears and grimace. And grimace.
Oh my God, behind the ear?
Yeah, it's the sperm gland. The two sophomores understand. Iris just rolls her eyes.
Thanks.
The softs exit. Patty and Barbara crack up. Interior party same time. Quint holds court with another group of girls on the porch. He holds out his wine goblet. Cindy talks with some girls directly behind Quint.
Well, shit. Sit, I'm sorry. Fuck. I've discovered some amusing little red wines down at the 7-Eleven recently. When you become a senior, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Quint's girls seem impressed. Exterior driveway of party house. Later, a small sports car sits in the driveway of the party house. We enter the car to see Ricky leaning back in the front seat. Ricky is squirming. He can't get comfortable. We see a hand placed behind his ear. We hear a girl's voice off stage.
I think it's whoever's cute sophomore.
Oh, sorry. Is this right? Almost there. Don't talk. Don't breathe. Don't stop.
The girl's hand behind his ear makes it tough to move. Ricky tries to move her hand, but it shoots right back like a hammer, banging his head. Ricky lets out a shriek of pain as he jolts forward. His leg jars a mini fire extinguisher on the lower dash.
I don't feel the twitch. What?
Ricky is squirming around as he tries to remove the girl's hand again. No luck as she tries right back, smacking him. He hits the fire extinguisher. It goes off, spraying from everywhere. The girl screeches.
Not yet. Shit.
Too late. The foam is still coming.
Wow. All this and your gland didn't even twitch? It almost did. Damn it.
Ricky pounds his dash. Interior house, same time. Big John comes on the porch and Quint high fives him. The problem is that Quint happens to be holding a goblet of red wine in his hand. The high five causes the red wine to splatter into Cindy's white suede jacket, causing
Suede!
Suede.
For 3 there, Travis.
Suede. Wow, and we're 22. Causing a huge strained silence. Cindy is mortified.
Sorry, babe. Don't worry, it's only red wine. I mean, that's not even suede. It's suede. Just rub some salt on it and it'll come right out.
Cindy is speechless. She tries to remain composed as she leaves.
I mean, it's not like I ruined it.
Interior bathroom later. Cindy alone in the bathroom. The jacket is ruined.
I am now a member of the homeless.
Interior house, same time. Ricky and sophomore 2 enter the party. She has foam all over her hair. Big John sees the girl pass by, notes the foam. Ricky rubs his ear.
Hand job? Blow job? Ear job?
Ricky keeps walking. John looks confused. Interior him all day. The front of the computer's RU window display. Ronald stares directly at the disc from the brochure. It rests below the back to school once in a lifetime sale, $1,000 sign. Ronald pulls out a fat roll of cash. Just as Ronald is about to enter the computer store, he sees a reflection of Cindy run by. Ronald turns not to be seen. He follows her as she enters the leather boutique, carrying a bag through the window. He sees Cindy show the clerk a jacket with a weird red design on it. Cindy's actions are animated. She looks upset. Ronald edges closer to hear that. Interior the leather boutique. Same time, Cindy and effeminated clerk.
Effeminate.
Effeminate clerk, you're welcome. At the leather boutique.
You have to realize I'm through. I'm washed up at 17. Nuclear fallout would be less painful than letting my mother see this jacket.
I relate to your dilemma, Miss. I really do. But our policy is no exchanges. Especially after a Garmont. See, that was a character choice. Travis. Uh, has been marinated in Ripple.
This is my kind of store. Ronald edges closer. He's all ears.
Okay, all right. I have a compromise. I'll work here. You name it. I'll do it. I'll sweep floors, load trucks, haul pelts, slaughter baby seals. All you have to do is give me a replacement jacket as an advance.
Listen, honey, I'll repeat your alternatives one last time. You can keep your jacket and dye the rest of it cranberry or purchase a new one.
The clerk points to an identical jacket on the rack as he walks into the back of the store. Interior mall, same time. Ronald looks at the price, $1,000. He then looks across the mall at his desk for $1,000. Ronald looks at his desperate Cindy, then at his roll of cash. Interior, they leather boutique, same time. Cindy has her head in her hands. She hears a knocking. She looks out the window. From Cindy's POV, we see Ronald holding a huge fan of cash. Risky business smile. Interior, they leather boutique. A few minutes later, the clerk on his ladder reaching for the jacket. We follow him to the counter. Ronald stands with Cindy at the counter.
That'll be $1,000.
Real deal?
Are you high?
No. Look, all you have to do is to pretend to go out with me for 3 weeks.
Just being with me will not make you popular.
Got $1,000 says it will. I'm completely serious.
Wrong. You're completely delirious.
All right, have it your way. I believe we decided against purchasing the jacket.
Ronald turns and starts to slowly exit the store. Cindy is a ball of confusion. She looks at the ruined jacket, then the new jacket.
Donald!
Ronald stops in his tracks. He smiles. Exterior school morning, a quiet, secluded entrance to school. We and focus on his wristwatch. Ronald nervously looks at his watch. Cindy enters the frame dressed to kill.
Cool out, Donald. I told you 8:05, didn't I?
We now get the full view of Ronald. He's dressed up. He looks very conservative. Oxford shirt, khaki pants, uncool. That's not cool. Khakis are cool. He takes a deep breath. He's tense.
Sorry. Relax. It's only school.
This is not an average opening day. I'm about to walk the cool hallway. It's always been for jocks and your friends. I usually go the long route around the metal shop.
Ease up. I'm the one that's going to have to hold a press conference when we're seen together.
Ronald nods in agreement.
Okay, so let's get this deal straight one more time. We only pretend to hang. No holding hands, no kissing, and I get lunch hour off.
I need more return on my investment. I mowed 284 miles for this.
All right, one lunch.
There are 5 days in a school week.
Okay. 2 lunches.
2 lunches. And the pep rally on Friday.
4 lunches, that's it.
Deal. But the most important thing, this is our sworn secret for life or longer. Promise?
Promise. How bad could it be, Donald? It's only 1 week.
3 weeks.
Cindy smiles. She thought she got away with one. She sizes up Ronald's attire. She winces.
If I'm going to do this for even 1 day, you have to do something about your style. I mean, like, it's non-existent.
Cindy goes to work on Ronald. She untucks his shirt bottoms, takes a solitary pen out of his shirt pocket. Cindy sizes him up. One more touch. Cindy rips the sleeves off his shirt. Cindy hands the shocked Ronald his shirt sleeves.
Big improvement. We're ready.
One last thing, Cindy. It's Ronald, not Donald.
Let's do it.
Interior hallway morning, the cool hallway. Stylish, dressed, attractive teenagers. This is the domain of the high school elite. We pan to the end of the hall to see Cindy and Ronald. Everything looks bigger and sounds louder to Ronald. Music up, the new couple begins to walk the hallway. Heads are turning. The noise volume decreases rapidly. Shock registers on their faces. John and Ricky are stunned as they whisper to each other.
That's that Lucy Miller. I don't get it. It must be for charity, like Geek Aid.
Cindy smiles and says hello to friends who just blankly stare back at her. Ronald, unsure of himself, just nods and smiles. Patty and Barbara are disbelieving. I think that's Don Ronald Miller.
No way. It must be a transfer.
Wrong. I think I'm puking. Cindy and Ronald approach the two girls.
Hi, Pat. Hi, Barb.
The two girls are speechless, melts a gap.
You know Ronnie.
Ronnie! Ronald smiles. He loves the cooler version of his name. Nice touch. The girls continue to stare.
Hi.
Sure, we know Ronnie.
Yeah, I think, didn't you used to cut our lawn?
Oh, yeah. You have some of the nicest hedges in town, and those rhododendrons are.
Cindy's heard enough of Ronnie putting his foot in his mouth.
We've got to move on. See you guys on home ec.
Ronnie politely smiles. The girls return to gesture. The girls watch Cindy and Ronnie walk off.
I like his shirt.
Barbara nods in agreement. He's here. Biology class later. Anatomy diagrams. Microscopes. A level 1 class inhibited with geeks including Albert and Lester. Kenneth sits next to Ronnie. The biology teacher speaks.
Any interesting experiments this summer?
Lester jumps up.
I grew up spores and fungi in my parents' refrigerator.
Ronnie whispers to Kenneth.
Now he's homeless.
And I ate at his house twice.
Oh.
You didn't meet me in the metal shop, Paul.
Sorry, I forgot. You know, first day and all.
You look different. Where'd you get that weird outfit?
It's designer's original.
Kenneth melts. Designer original. Get your hard disk interfaced yet?
Well, I didn't actually buy it yet. 1,000 is a lot to part with.
What else would you possibly spend it on? Before Ronnie can answer.
Mr. Miller, you seem talkative this morning. Why don't you recite the bones of the appendicular skeleton? All 64.
Kiss my ass, biology teacher. Ronnie swallows hard and tear. Clasp at the same time a pair of huge hands trying to separate an egg white from its yolk. It's spelled yolk. Yolk. Anyway, pull back to reveal John with the egg. He is making a cake in home with Patty, Barbara, Cindy, and Ricky. They all perform various baking functions. John separates the egg white and swallows the egg yolk. He lets out an audible burp.
You pig.
Barbara looks at Patty and John, then Ricky. Well, if you guys are all whipping out, I'll get the main issue here. What were you doing with Donald? Ronnie, whatever his name, Miller.
We're friends.
Since when? The guy is like Joe Zero.
If it's any of your business, he's become a new friend.
Friends? Oh. The guy drives a lawnmower around town. What do you do for fun? Spread fertilizer?
John high fives Ricky.
You came up with that incredible rank all by yourself? I'm impressed.
What about Bobby? We're just trying to get some answers.
Oh boy, take a look at my forehead. You see a sign that says information?
Patty, Barbara, and Ricky. John is shut down. Interior cafeteria later that day. Crowded, noisy. We follow students zigzagging through the long line, cutting in, nudging people aside. It's Quint demonstrating his prowess as the school bully. We see Kenneth sitting at the geek table, craning his neck, probably looking for Ronnie. He now sees Ronnie carrying his and Cindy's trays for the first time. The general student body is seeing Cindy and Ronnie. They are attracting gawks, stares, and pointed fingers. Ronnie puts the trays side by side on the cool table.
Having lunch was part of our deal, but I didn't think it meant we had to sit at the same table.
I thought it would be more believable if we sat together.
I guess you're right. Plus, you did treat.
Quint approaches the table, looks at Ronnie taking a seat beside Cindy. Quint leans over face to face with Ronnie.
Aren't you in the wrong section? Losers are to the left.
Ronnie is intimidated and stares and starts to rise. Cindy looks at Quint.
Then I guess you'll be making her right.
Quint looks confused.
That's the asshole section.
Quint gives her a look and storms off. Ronnie breathes a sigh of relief.
Thanks.
Cindy's crowd emerges from the kitchen with their trays. They see Ronnie at their table and stop. This causes a gridlock of kids and lunch trays. The cools don't know where to sit. You need a map, John. We've been sitting at that table for 3 years.
Look, that Wimpus Miller is parked in our zone. Lighten up, John. How bad could he be? He is with Cindy.
They all nod in agreement, then head towards their table. No one sits next to Ronnie. There is some brief, uncomfortable silence.
You all know Ronnie.
Sure, we were in 5th grade together, but I haven't seen you since.
A few laughs at this put down of Ronnie, some more silent.
I read in the papers that you and Ricky will probably be all county, maybe even all state this season.
You go to the games?
Oh, everyone.
I've never seen you there. I have. You sit in the visiting section.
The kids look at Ronnie.
He sits there to razz the other team. Psychological warfare.
Yeah, I've almost had my butt kicked 3 times.
Eerie silence. They don't know what to make of Ronnie.
No, that's school spirit. Or, I'm sorry. Now that's school spirit? Sure. Risking your life for the team.
The kids half-heartedly agree. Ronnie gives Cindy an appreciative nod. The nerd table, Lester spots Ronnie and points for Kenneth and Albert. Albert is amazed. Kenneth frowns.
Ronald's in some no man's land. He's still alive. What's he doing, Ken? Ow.
He's helping them with homework. The first morning of school homework? Good point. Kenneth looks confused and concerned. Interior pizza parlor that afternoon. It is National Pizza Day, everybody. Ronnie sits in a booth with Cindy.
Thanks for bringing me here. I'm dying.
Why didn't you eat lunch?
I guess I'm nervous around those guys.
Ricky, John, and Quint enter the pizza parlor. Just as the pizza is placed on Ronnie's table, the guys barely acknowledge Ronnie and Cindy as they sit at another booth.
Here's your chance. Invite them to join us.
Come on over. The pizza's on me.
Ronnie smiles and prepares to make room as the 3 boys approach. They get to the booth, each take 2 pieces and go back to their booth. Now what? Not what Ronnie is expected nor meant. He looks down at the pizza dish. It's empty. Exterior Miller's house. Later that afternoon, the front door opens. Out blares that 60s classic 2525 by Zegger and Evans. David pops to it. Kenneth is at the door. Hi, Mr. Miller. Ronald home? Now this is a classic. He's around back, Kenneth. Exterior Miller yard later. A hammer bangs down on a piece of wood. Ronnie is dismantling his treehouse. Ronnie throws some wood into a wheelbarrow below. He notices Kenneth watching him. Ronnie smiles. I missed you at lunch.
Sorry, Ken. I was helping the people with their homework.
The BS registers with Kenneth. He picks up a wood scrap from the wheelbarrow. Need some help?
It's not safe.
Never was. I remember when Quint fell out and broke his arm.
Couldn't play Little League that year.
Ronnie drops a piece of wood. Kenneth puts it on the wheelbarrow.
We took him to the hospital in that wheelbarrow. He cried the whole way.
We should have left him here. The 2 friends laugh. Kenneth laughs, smiles, still unsure of his friendship. Chucky and his buddies hide behind the lawnmower shed, watching. They crack up. Interior Miller Den night. David plays the stereo. Vintage '60s. Herb Albert and the Tijuana brass. Chucky enters with Judy. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, Ma, something is definitely off. It's like the dude's trying to be normal. Who's trying to be normal? I was talking to Ma, Dad. Ronnie walks into the room dressed offbeat. Melrose rage. Chucky nudges Judy to check Ronnie out. Different outfit, Ron?
Thanks, Dad.
How's the new computer? Oh, that's not me.
I decided to wait for the big Columbus Day sale.
Columbus Day?
Were you off too?
I'm going to a party at John Richmond's house with Cindy Mancini.
Silence. Judy looks at David. Chucky's amazed. Cindy Mancini, senior captain of the cheerleaders, the greatest looking girl in the history of this country.
That's her. Well, I got a bolt. Night.
Judy and Dave both mouth both. Something stinks in Suburbia. Exterior Mancini house later that night. Ronnie rings the doorbell. He waits. The door opens. It's Mrs. Mancini.
Oh, sorry, Ronald. The grass doesn't need cutting.
Oh, no, ma'am. It's not about your lawn. I'm here to take out Cindy.
You're here for my Cindy?
Just then, Cindy pecks her mom on the cheek, says goodbye, and closes the door. They walk towards the driveway. Chucky is in a bush observing Ronnie and Cindy. He's stunned.
I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to...
Oh, she'll get over it.
Cindy looks around.
Something wrong?
I'm usually picked me up in some sort of mechanized type of transportation.
Well, it's only a few blocks. It's a nice night.
Cindy is pleased, and she walks to her car.
We're not going on a nature walk. Get in.
Cindy gets in her car. Ronnie gets in his side. She blasts back in reverse, stops.
I can't believe I let you negotiate a Saturday night. We had lunch all week. We stood near each other in the hallway. I took you for pizza, and I even waved to you at the game today. I can't do this for 2 more weeks.
We didn't call.
I don't think that's any of your business.
He'll call. Look, he's busy being a big-time college football star, but I'm sure he's thinking about you all the time.
Sorry for jumping on your back.
Sorry. I'm the one that forgot my dad's car. It's just that I haven't had many dates in the last 16 or 17 years.
You're a crack up.
Cindy laughs and speeds off. On exterior street, Chucky on his bike, following the car. He pedals furiously to keep up. Interior Lesner's house later that night. Albert, Lesnar, and Kenneth playing 3-man trivia.
Don't you dare take my line again this time, you infidel. What's a 2-word phrase for late and inconsiderate?
Oh, I got it! Ronald Miller.
Hysterical. He said he'd be here. Give him some time.
He's probably having a late lunch with Cindy.
Sorry, Albert. That's funny. Albert and Lesnar. I'm so used to watching WWE, can't help it. Crack up. Kenneth does not.
The least he could have done is drop off the dip and chips. A cold brew is just not the same.
Albert guzzles a can of root beer. Interior John's house later. A belch. A beer can is crumbled. Pull back to reveal John trashing the can. We just say trash can, people. It's a lot easier. Iris hangs all over John. She wears a most revealing outfit. They're in the middle of a rousing victory party populated by the elite. Cindy talks with some girls. Ronnie stands next to her, a little lost. Exterior John's house. Chucky coincidentally appears into the party through an open window. Interior John's house. John is at the refreshment area. Ronnie approaches. Iris hangs on John.
Great game, Ronnie. Or John.
Thanks. You came with Cindy?
Ronnie nods yes. John notices Ron is empty-handed.
Think you can handle a brew?
Sure. You got an A&W?
John and Iris laugh, maybe with him.
You're a funny guy. No, we got B and C. Bud and Coors.
Ronnie doesn't know what to do with beer, so he sips it. John backs away from Iris. He whispers to Ronnie.
I gotta let a gremlin out of my ass. I mean, bad.
Exterior John's house. John backs up to the window. He cuts a monstrous fart. It hits Chucky directly in the face. Chucky gasps for air as he falls backwards into the house. Interior Lester's house later. Kenneth and Lester take apart a computer on the card table. Albert reads a porno magazine.
How could Ronald possibly have had more fun than this? Huh?
Interior John's house later. John's hand on Iris's butt. Pan to reveal Iris' hand inside the back of John's pants. The party goes strong. Ronnie talks with some jocks. Cindy approaches Ronnie, puts her arm on his shoulder.
People are starting to buy this.
Ronnie nods and smiles. Patty and Barbara stand with some other cute girls. They watch Cindy and Ronnie. Cindy sure is keeping a mystery on her and Ronnie.
She's playing it smart. I wouldn't want to lose him. He's definitely hot.
Dude, like he went from totally geek to totally chic.
The girls all nod in agreement as they admire Ronnie, who now swigs his beer with some gusto. Interior biology class morning. Kenneth and all the other students take notes. Ronnie is sleeping, books unopened. Kenneth notes this. The bell rings. Ronnie awakes. Good morning. How was your weekend?
Great. How about you?
The two walk towards the exit of the class. Fine, if you don't mind getting stood up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I completely forgot.
I'm sure you did.
I said it was sorry. Can we please terminate this?
Kenneth is hurt. Ronnie knows it.
Let's do something this weekend. Just me and you.
Friday night?
No can do.
Saturday night?
I was thinking more like Sunday afternoon.
Great. Let's do lunch.
Can't wait. Gotta go.
Ronnie takes off, leaving his injured Kenneth. Kenneth's hurt is compounded when he sees Ronnie join up with Big John and Ricky down the hall. Exterior Cindy's house later that afternoon. Ronnie, washing a car, pulls back to reveal it's Cindy's car he's working. Cindy relaxes on the grass next to her driveway, drinking a lemonade.
When I offered you a ride home, it wasn't to get you to wash my car.
Oh, I don't mind. Actually, yeah, I kind of like it.
You're a hard worker. You always seem to be doing something. Work's not really my thing.
But cheerleading's hard work. You do it well.
I guess, but I don't really do much else except shop and hang out.
Why not? I mean, you could do anything you want. Anything you put your mind or heart into.
Cindy gets up. She offers Ronnie her lemonade.
I'll be right back.
Ronnie smiles at her gesture. He drinks as he sprays the car, then starts drying it. He's hot and sweaty. He stops to take his shirt off. Cindy runs out the front door and approaches Ronnie with a cutler of paper. She hands the papers to Ronnie. She stands there as he thumbs through them. Ronnie stops on one page and reads.
You're braided into my thoughts. You're bound within my soul. When we're apart, you're still there for me to hold.
Ronnie puts the papers down on the car. He's impressed.
That's really nice. I didn't know you wrote poetry.
No one knows.
Even Bobby?
Cindy nods no.
Thanks for sharing these with me.
You'll keep it between us. Promise?
Promise. But you should be proud of it. You're talented.
The mood is too serious. Cindy grabs her the hose.
And you're drenched!
Cindy changes the mood by hosing Ronnie. Ronnie retaliates by hitting her with a soaking sponge. They battle, then fall to the ground, wrestling, laughing. Interior mall morning. Cindy and Ronnie walk. Ronnie holds a hip shirt up to his body. He also carries another bag of clothing.
You really like it?
It'll help, but you're still missing one essential.
They stop in front of an eyeglass store window. Cindy points to a cool set of shades. Wayfarers, Voirant, etc. Interior eyeglass store. They enter the store. Cindy puts them on Ronnie.
They're $79.
Relax. They're on me.
Ronald is impressed. Cindy takes his sunglasses and grabs the identical looking pair from the bargain rack.
$4.95 and you can't tell the difference.
Exterior street, late afternoon. Ronnie wearing his new shirt, driving a very stylish attire. Cindy in her car through town at night.
I can't believe you won't tell me. Debbie's party. Bumper cars?
Nope. Since it's our last night, I thought we could check out one of my favorite places.
Ha! The gondola ride through the tunnel of love. Come on, Ron, we outlawed that kind of stuff.
Ron smiles as he pulls alongside a huge wall in the middle of nowhere.
We're here.
Where's here?
Ronnie gets out and opens Cindy's door.
I'm not getting out of a car till you tell me where we are.
Just follow me. You'll
Ronnie
love it.
Ronnie walks to the wall. Cindy reluctantly follows. Ronnie starts to scale the wall. Cindy is shocked.
Ronnie!
Ronnie stops at the top of the wall.
I'm supposed to climb over this wall?
You can do it.
You're nuts. I don't scale walls on dates.
We've gone to lots of your places, and they were great. This is one of my favorites. It'll be fun. Trust me.
Ronnie disappears over the wall. Cindy looks around and climbs. Exterior airplane graveyard later. Cindy lands on her 2 feet. She turns. Her jaw drops in amazement. We see her POV. Carcasses of vintage airplanes and helicopters stretch for miles. It's eerie.
Whoa. I've heard about this place, the airplane junkyard.
Airplane graveyard. I come here by myself sometimes. I can feel the engines roaring, hear the guns firing. This is history.
Cindy nods in agreement and awe as she touches a broken wing. Exterior wing, plane wing. Dusk, a large B-52 wing. The sun is going down. Red sky. Cindy and Ronald sit to the wing, leaning against the cockpit. They are very comfortable. They look out on the massive planes.
There's something real important we need to discuss.
Cindy leans closer to Ronnie.
I was kind of hoping you'd bring this up.
I'm too new at this. We'll have to rely on your experience.
Cindy moves closer. She's ready for love.
Let's just do it. I mean, like, naturally, no planning.
Cindy is pucked up and ready for the big kiss.
How should we do our official breakup on Monday?
Cindy is caught off guard. She straightens up and becomes defensive.
That's exactly what I was thinking about. Us ending our fake relationship. I don't know who believed it, but whoever did is Looney Tunes, you and me going out.
Yeah. I mean, it does seem unrealistic. But you're the expert. How do we break up? A big fight?
Unnecessary. A simple, dignified ceremony is the best way to protect your rep.
Me with a reputation? Whoa.
Cindy now sits upright and rigid. Ronald has no idea she was interested. Exterior school morning. The grassy front of the school grounds. The Cools Mill. About Cindy sits on the steps as Ronald approaches. Ronald is smiling, but Cindy is playing her role.
We need to talk. Now.
Great. What's up?
Cindy stands as kids are honing in. Ronnie is still oblivious.
I think it's time for us to call it quits.
Cindy winks at Ronnie. He now clicks in one cue, dropping his book bag for effect, raises his voice.
You're calling it quits? Well, I'm calling it history, as in ancient.
Cindy is surprised with Ronnie's tone. All watch oohs and ahs from the spectators. Ronnie is getting animated, overdoing it.
Wait a second, we have an arrangement.
Wrong. I'm dropping you like a bad habit. You were the one draped all over me like a cheap suit for 3 weeks, so I'm dumping you, chump.
Cindy is shocked at how far this has gone.
Well, what have you got to say?
Cindy is speechless. She shakes her head and punches Ronnie in the face. The stunned Ronnie rocks backwards. Cindy storms off. Quint approaches Ronnie and proudly pats him on the back.
The Runster! You were one badass dude.
Barbara and Patty. Poor Cindy, it's awful the way Ronnie alienated her.
I don't know what you saw in him. He's such a heartbreaker.
Yeah, that's it. Barbara and Patty look longingly at Ronnie. Exterior Cindy's driveway that afternoon. Cindy pulls her car and Ronnie is there. He has a bandage on his face. He carries his book knapsack.
That was a great act this morning. That punch was so real. We're talking an Oscar nomination for sure.
Guess we gave him a good show.
I couldn't have done it without you. We're an excellent 3 weeks. At the parties, the games, your friends really took to me because of you.
Ron, it was like a job. You know, you bailed me out and I pretended that I liked you. I was only honoring our contract.
Well, it worked. Popularity sure beats being treated like a social leper.
Popularity is a job, not a privilege. It's work and worries. Work to stay in and worries not to lose it. Remember the jacket? Me trying to impress people?
I thought your popularity was on automatic pilot.
I wish.
Cindy starts for her house. Ronnie stops her. He pulls a beautiful leather bound notebook out of his knapsack and hands it to Cindy. She doesn't know what is in it, what it is.
It's to keep your poetry in.
Thanks. Ron, whatever happens with the popularity, stay yourself. Don't change to please them.
Cindy walks off. Ronnie watches her. He yells out.
Well, me change? Not a chance.
Interior hallway morning, the beginning of the bustling, cool hallway. Ronnie pauses to observe. He is dressed in mouse to kill. He even wears his new shades, Mr. Ultimate Bitchin'. He begins to strut, not walk, the hall. It parts like the Red Sea for him. He is high-fiving jocks, charming babes. He's obnoxious. Ronnie stops at Barbara and Patty, tilts his shades.
Ladies, looking good this AM?
Ooh, thanks, Ronnie. Looking rather tasty yourself. Cindy is feet behind at her locker. She winces at Ron's wet head.
I love your hair. It's so saturated.
Nothing major, just a little mousse.
Yeah, 42 gallons.
You're taking me to Friendly's Saturday night. Wow. Patty shoots Barbara a look to kill. Cindy is about to gag. Ronnie is caught off guard.
Saturday, sure, babe. I believe I've got that evening liberated.
Wonderful. Ronnie smiles and struts off. Cindy turns her back as he walks past. Stay with Patty and Barbara.
I was gonna ask him out.
Relax, it's only September. Cindy can't believe her ears. That was a great Green Day song. Interior class later, biology. The class watches a sex ed film. Huh, I remember those days. Ronnie sits behind Kenneth. He has the sunglasses. Kenneth talks to Ronnie. Oh yeah, thanks, friends. I haven't seen nor heard from you in 3 weeks. I know you went out with Cindy, but I shouldn't have to be biodegradable now that you're Mr. Cool. I'm not a mutant, Ron. I realize I may be obsolete in your new world, but I'm not dead. Kenneth waits for a response. I'm just asking for some respect. Kenneth lifts Ronnie's glasses. Ronnie is sound asleep. Exterior street night. Cardboard pulled back to reveal the cardboard covering the tile world insights of the station wagon. Ronnie is driving Barbara in his father's conservative 5-door car, we hear some news on the AM only radio as Barbara fiddles with the radio. Got any tapes? Ronnie hands her 2 tapes. She puts it on. It's Week 60 song. Your dad sells aluminum siding?
No, he's the vice president of Tile World. Why?
This car sort of reminds me of my granddad's. Ronnie nods. Barbara changes the tape but gets more 60s music. When I said tapes, I was referring to something post Paleozoic era.
You study anthropology?
Barbara shoots him a puzzled look. Ronnie shrugs. Guess not. Interior video parlor later that night. Kenneth, Albert, Lester play video games in the parlor across the street from Friendly's. They are the only people over age 12 in the parlor.
This is fun for a Saturday night.
A couple of 10-year-olds run by, bumping Lester. Interior station wagon. The back, Chucky is wrapped in a blanket, spine listening to Ronnie and Barbara, a 60s tune on the cassette player.
Why'd you ask me out?
Because you went out with Cindy.
How sincere.
What?
I said how sensational.
For sure. I figure if Cindy would date you, why shouldn't I?
Can't argue with that logic.
Who could? Chucky rolls his eyes. He submerges under the blanket. Exterior Friendlies. It is loaded with cool cars, popular kids, blasting car stereos. Ronnie approaches in the wagon. Interior video parlor later. Kenneth, Albert, Lester spot Ronnie's slow-moving car from the arcade.
Hey, there's Ronald in his dad's car.
God, I love station wagons. Like, I can fit my whole computer into the back of my dad's Citation.
You may like it, but once those cool sees that car, they'll remember who he is. He'll stick out like an IBM. I'm choking on myself here. IBM at Apple's convention. The nerds crack up at the computer jargon joke. Kenneth smiles. Reschedule the card game, boys.
You're still doing scene description, Travis.
I am, yes. Exterior Friendlies. Ronnie pulls into a space in the lot. His car looks out of the place of the cool lot. Big Johnny, Ricky, Patty, and other cools approach the car as Ronnie and Barbara get out. Cindy observes from a distance. She is with a handsome college guy.
Yo, dudes!
Silence. The kids stare at Ronnie's car like it was from outer space. Big Johnny touches it.
Interesting mode of transport, kind of like plane wrap.
Well,
Dirty dog. Don't be shifty with the boys. This car is hectic, dude. The primitive tunes, but ladies in the mood, and you put the 2 of you into the spacious boudoir, complete with plush blankets. Strategic, my man. Very strategic.
well, I was gonna get a buffed out Corvette, but
But what? This is not a car. It is an unleaded love machine. Can make some sweet sweat back here. Huh, Barb?
No complaints out of me. Ronnie gives Barbara a look. Other jocks now admire the car. Cindy is disbelieving. Interior video parlor. Kenneth, Albert, and Lester watch Ronnie.
Those jocks have great taste.
Shut up, Lester. I just don't get it.
I guess we're looking for a new fourth.
And I guess this is the break time.
There was a few other.
Exterior Friendly's lot. Chucky appears from under his blanket out the open back window. Ronnie and Barbara walk across the lot. Patty approaches. She hugs and kisses Barbara.
Hi, honey.
Hi, Pass. You two keep my place. I've got to hit the ladies' room. Barbara leaves, allowing Patty to corner Ronnie. John and Ricky stand by the back of Ronnie's station wagon.
Feels like Godzilla trying to claw out of my crevice.
Ricky and a few of the jocks abruptly back away from John and the station wagon. John backs up to the open car window. Interior station wagon. Chucky smiles, sours. His POV is John's ass. Here it comes. Boom. Chucky melts into the blankets. Exterior friendlies. Patty holds Ronnie's arm in the parking lot.
You're taking me to the Fallout dance in 2 weeks.
I am?
Yep.
But what about Barbara? I thought she was your best friend.
She is.
Sure, babe. No problem.
Patty kisses his cheek and whispers in his ear.
I bet you're the sexiest dancer in school.
You won that wager. I got moves that defy the laws of gravity.
Patty grabs his butt as she walks away, smiling. Ronnie talks to himself.
Dancing? Moves? Man, big mouth. Shit.
Interior boys' locker room afternoon. Football players mill about in various stages of uniform undress. Ricky and John have their shirts and pads off. Mucho sweat. Ronnie is wrapped in a towel with swimming goggles on his forehead. He's wet.
Cool.
You're on a roll, big guy. First Cindy, now Barbara. She took your chicken.
No, she went for fish.
Come on, monster. Cut the comedy. Did she grease your rod?
I don't think Barb takes auto shop.
Let's get factual, dude. Did you get laid, down, over, fucked?
No, we didn't go the distance. All she wanted to do was kiss.
Sure. And we're supposed to purchase that.
Interior girls' locker room. Patty and Barbara with some cheerleaders. They are in various stages and styles of underwear.
How was he?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I will.
The girls all ooh and ah. Cindy on the other side of the locker room can't believe her ears. Interior boys' locker room later. Ricky and John wrapped in towels. Ronnie dries off.
You're telling us you and Barbara only swap spit?
Hey, it was an off night for me. What about you guys?
Me? I was getting over a little hurdler, but old Ricky's been dating his left hand this semester. Oh. And Iris counts? She counted to twice last night. Oh, God. At least the monster gets it from the girls that we can't get it from.
Ronnie raises his head proudly.
We had our fun.
Ricky and John pat Ronnie on the back as they head for the showers.
You devil.
The boys walk off. Ronnie talks to himself.
Devil, I haven't even experienced breasts yet.
Interior Miller Den Night, the 60s classic License and Peppermints, wails as David tries to fix the TV set. No luck, he turns the volume down as Chucky and Judy enter. I'm talking football players, cheerleaders, local socialists, socialites. Jeez, he doesn't even associate with the geeks anymore. I see nothing wrong with your brother making new friends. He's allowed to have fun. He is? Anyway, I was talking to my dad. The dude is bordering on weirdness.
Chucky has a point, honey. I haven't seen a book since school opened.
I remember my senior year, and I guarantee as we speak, my son is doing something worthwhile. Interior John's house. A beer can pops open. Pull back to reveal Ronnie, who has two tall boys. Ronnie is tipsy. He offers a can to John.
No way. Got a football game tomorrow.
Ronnie drinks and offers the other can to Ricky.
Not cool, Ron. Too much drinking isn't happening.
Ronnie looks surprised as he chugs. He's wobbling about to lose it. Ronnie sits. John hands Ronnie a hefty bag.
If you're going to toss, put your head in the bag.
Ronnie proceeds to drunkenly crawl into the bag. It covers practically his body from his head down.
Hey, Backman. Are you going out with us tonight before Halloween? A little harmless fun. Ate a couple of houses.
The bag moves.
Let's throw omelets.
The bag rolls over and plops onto the floor. Interior Ronnie's bedroom morning. Growly turns in his bed as the light shines in his window. He still has the clothes on from the night. His head is pounded. His face is on the clock. 12:22. Oh shit! He races out of the room to the den. The TV is busted. He looks at the clock. 12:23. In panic, Ronnie dashes into the kitchen to find Chucky watching wrestling on a 13-color portable.
Hey, Chuck, how about letting me watch your box for a few minutes? The big one's nuked.
No way, Brisky Breath.
I just need to see the end of the American Bandstand.
I'm not giving up. Huda Berkowitz and the Human Waste versus the Slime Twins so you can watch a bunch of California burnouts.
I'm begging, Chuck.
Okay, what we have here is something I learned at school, the law of supply and demand. I'll supply you the TV, and I demand $2.
Wrong. That's not how that economic theory works.
Give me a break. I learned it in junior high, not Harvard. Ronnie looks at the clock. 12:26. Ronnie's pissed.
All right, look. Let me give you the theory of relativity. Dwarf. If you don't put on Bandstand now, I'll have one less relative.
Chucky gets the hint, quickly moves around the channels until he finds some dancing. Must be a bandstand. Chucky leaves. Ronnie watches two contemporarily dressed black youths to do a weird, herky-jerky, spastic dance to some strange music. Ronnie is confused. He talks to himself.
Must be the spotlight dance. Some ultra new wave music.
Ronnie proceeds to slowly intimidate the dancers. He looks strange doing these spastic moves around the kitchen. Chucky watches through a crack in the door, mesmerized. Ronnie's spastically bouncing around. We hear a noise off stage. The garage door, parents' home. Ronnie hears this. Doors one last move and runs out the kitchen. Chucky re-enters, still shaking his head. He is about to change the channel when the dance ends, and a black man dressed in native African garb comes on screen. That ain't Dick Clark.
I would like to thank our 2 exchange students from Lower Swahili, Charles Kabanga and Sunday Ubuke, for performing today's cultural segment, The African Anteater Ritual. This has been the PBS African Culture Hour.
Yeah. Interior High School later that night, a typical high school dance, a live band, kids basically doing the same arm swaying type dancing. Teachers chaperone the activity. Ronnie stretching with Patty hanging all over him. He has on his sunglasses in the dark room. Ronnie studies the dancing. Ronnie high fives Ricky, who is now with the tight little bombshell Iris. John is with Barbara. Cindy is with another handsome college guy. The college guy puts arm around Cindy. She removes it. The band cracks, loud music parting. Interior Lester's house night. Quiet, dull. Kenneth introduces Ronnie's replacement. This is Donald. We now see Donald. He's a 17-year-old ultra nerd. Albert and Lester stare.
You play poker? What?
Interior high school gym later. A frustrated Patty tries to grab Ronnie. He backs off.
Come on, Ronnie, let's get out of here.
Just 1 minute, babe. I don't quite affiliate with this tune.
Ronnie simply tries to rehearse his moves. He's unsure. The teacher chaperones observe the action. The matrimony Miss Hagmere and the Weasley Mr. Wibbly.
Right. Matron Lee. What a wonderful group of young adults we have this year.
Mr. Webley nods his approval. Exterior dance. Later, Kenneth tries to get his reluctant Albert, Lester, and Donald to enter the dance.
It was your idea. You treat.
The geeks peer into the dance. From their POV, they see the sexy Iris walk by. Albert and Lester rush for their wallets. Interior boys' bathroom later. Ronnie practicing his moves along in the bathroom. He stops as Mr. Webley enters.
Dang it. Hello, Ronald. Just checking the bathrooms.
Good, because I heard one of them ran away last week.
Mr. Wembley does not find Ronnie's tone amusing.
Haven't seen you at any computer or debating club meetings.
That makes sense. I didn't join them this term.
We have a new disc system. I'm sure you'll find it interesting.
Ronnie is uncomfortable with Wembley. He starts to leave.
Sounds thrilling. I got to get back to my girl.
Ronnie leaves. That Mr. Wembley shakes his head. Interior dance later. Kenneth, Albert, Lester, and Donald stand in an obscure corner of the dance. They are barely visible, camouflaged behind hanging streamers and party decorations. They all wear Ronald Miller trademark sunglasses in the flip-down attachment version.
We passed up cards for this.
Ruining our eyesight.
I think the glasses are neat.
If you're in the Secret Service, huh?
Stop complaining. It's time we get out and socialize.
No one
My places are
knows
better than
we're
yours.
here. Ew.
Sorry, Albert.
Damn it.
Almost no one. Da-da-dum.
Quint and another huge generic jock have seen the four geeks and approach.
Oh, it's nerd herd.
The four nerds politely smile, hoping that the jocks will leave them.
You wusses are going to give nerds a bad name wearing these.
The two jocks relieve the boys of their sunglass attachments. The jocks leave laughing, throwing the sunglasses in the trash. The nerds make sure the jocks aren't coming back.
Now that the humiliation is out of the way, let's mingle.
Kenneth nods and the nerds exit the cloud of decorations. Another jock walks by, the nerds back up into hiding again. Interior dance later, Ronnie delivers Patty a cup of punch. What kind of punch, we'll find out. She's frustrated.
I'm becoming a punchaholic. This is a dance, Ronnie.
Well, then let's dance.
Oh yeah, Ronnie swallows hard, grabs. Is that something to come later? Grabs Ronnie by the hand and starts into the dance floor. During a little dance, Ronnie is determined. A powerful rocker cranks up. Ronnie closes his eyes and fully goes for it. He does the African anteater ritual. Quick reactions to Ronnie's dancing. Number one, Patty stops dancing and looks at Ronnie. She's shocked. Two freshman girls dancing stop and gawk at Ronnie.
What is Brazowski? He must be in special ed.
Cindy can't believe her eyes. She stops dancing. Miss Hangmere is shocked.
Shouldn't we do something?
Mr. Embley just smiles. He knows better. The band is shocked. Kenneth, Albert, Lester, and Donald perplexed in unison.
The African anteater ritual?
John and Barbara have stopped dancing as Ricky and Iris, the whole place watches Ronnie, who dances away, eyes closed, oblivious to the scene he has caused.
Shit, Ricky. If Ronnie's doing it, it must be a new dance. It's weird, but he's cool.
He sure is. Let's go for it.
John, Barbara, Ricky, and Iris start doing the spastic dance. Cutbacks, the freshman girls decide to do it.
I thought it was a spaz dance. I said jazz dance.
The freshmen really go for it. All the kids now do it. Mr. Hangmere has to be restrained by Mr. Webley.
What an immoral group of young rowdies we have this year.
Sydney exits the dance floor. Her college guy date follows. They are the only two to leave the dance floor. A stunned Kenneth, Albert, Lessner, and Donald.
I don't comprehend it.
I don't believe it.
You can't do anything wrong. The four nerds head to the exit. Their spirits are down.
Thanks, guys. That was a lot of fun.
As he sees everyone doing his dance, he smiles and starts dancing again with even more gusto. He exterior friendly parking lot later that night. The lot is filled with high school elite. The vast majority of cars are conservative family four-door types. In place of blaring music are a bunch of 60s tunes. The bad ones, several cools hover around Ronnie Patty, who's lean on Ronnie's car.
That dance was intense. I almost sprained an ankle.
Where did you get those hot moves from?
I got some friends in exotic places.
Rio?
Paris?
No, really exotic. Hollywood.
Proud listeners is very impressed. A few oohs and ahs. Iris is giving Ronnie some sensual looks, even as she has her arm around Ricky, and Patty has her arms around Ronnie. What's it called?
It's called faking.
Must have been place breaking.
All the kids nod in agreement. Ronnie disengages himself from Patty, does a quick African move, and heads across the lot to Friendlies. Cindy exits with one ice cream cone.
Yo, Sin babe.
The name is Cindy. Don't ever call me babe.
I just wanted to say hello.
Then just say it.
Hey, get tranquil. I'm only trying to be friendly.
Be friendly with your flock.
I owe all my friends to you.
I don't want credit for this. They're making fools of themselves. I've seen zombies with more individuality.
Turns and begins to walk away.
Where are you going?
It's tripping, Donald.
Ronnie just shrugs. Cindy walks away. Ronnie watches her offer the cone to her, the college guy who stands back with a glare. She licks off the drips. Now he takes it from her. Interior Ronnie's car. Later that night, Ronnie and Patty sit in the big front seat of his family wagon far apart. They are parked. A slow 60s tuna moods it up.
You're awful far away.
Sorry.
Ronnie moves an inch closer, still far apart. Patty unbuttons her top button.
You into long distance relationships?
No?
Patty stares to unbutton her shirt. Ronnie utters some nervous sounds as he moves another inch closer.
Then why don't you reach out and touch someone?
Patty snaps her bra open. Two, count 'em, two large breasts spot out. Ronnie squirms away from Patty. He leans against the far window.
Have you ever seen two like these?
My parents do have cable.
Wow. Patty laughs and moves closer to Ronnie. He's new to this stuff.
Aren't you going to caress me?
Ronnie is frozen. Patty puts on the sensual tones. Leans.
I want you to feel me, explore me.
Patty grabs Ronnie's hand and places it to her breasts. He finds courage.
Well, it is Columbus Day.
Wow. Patty.
That's my
purrs
birthday.
Happy birthday. And Patty purrs a giggle. Ronnie's body follows his hand. They kiss as he continues to fondle her breasts with one hand. His other hand goes down to her belt buckle. She grabs the wandering hand and places it to her other breast. Ronnie shrugs, then grins as he goes back to kissing. They disappear from view because we all know it. Exterior station wagon, same time outside looking in, we can barely see them entangled.
Thank you, Leah Iacocca.
Interior Ronnie's room. Later that night, a light under the covers in the pitch black room. We go under the covers to reveal a flashlight on a calendar.
17 years, 3 months, and 5 days. That's a long time to wait for some tit.
Blackout. Exterior Miller House dusk. Ronnie exits his front door where Chucky and David are hooking up a hose by the porch. Ronnie has on dark clothes. No mischief, you hear? That includes eggs, tomatoes, toilet rolls, ringing doorbells.
Little faith, Dad.
We hear a horn honking on stage. Ronnie waves goodbye. Exterior Cindy's house, same time. Cindy, Patty, and Barbara exit passing Rock, a 45-year-old lounge lizard, complete with white suit and enough jewelry to choke Mr. T. To choke Mr. T?
Shoot, sorry. We're on page 69.
70 a PDF.
70.
Top.
70. Oh, shoot.
I pitted the fool.
Funny costume.
What costume? That's his wardrobe.
They walk to Cindy's car. They stop. The car windows have been soaped.
They still do this mischief night. Real mature.
I wonder if all the guys are being jerks tonight.
Interior van later. John drives. Ricky and John are dressed in black with black faces. Ricky shows Ronnie an assortment of projectiles.
We got white bread, plum tomatoes, farm fresh eggs,
Any hash browns?
and the piece de resistance, the shit bomb.
Oh, humanoid feces?
No, doggy do. But it's just ineffective.
Ricky hands Ronnie shoe polish.
Whose house are we doing?
A classic. It's tradition. We nail the same house 4 straight years. They're total geeks. We out strategize them every time. It's fun.
Ricky examines Ronnie's makeup. Exterior house, same time. A nerdy man addresses 2 boys. We only see the 2 boys from the back. The smaller boy wears an army uniform and helmet. He's into it.
This year we get those vandals. I'll patrol the back. Junior, in the bushes with the hose.
Water canyon, sir.
And most important, son, is your mission. Drop that net on any punk that goes near our front door. I'm going to personally deliver one of these vandals to the police.
The camera now reveals the bigger boy, Kenneth. Exterior street later. The van is slowing. The lights are turned off as it moves. The van stops. Interior van smile time. John points. There's
the target.
Ronnie looks. He recognizes it. Kenneth's house. He's stuck now.
Oh, shit. I know a better house.
This is our senior year, our last mission. Tradition. Let's go.
Ricky opens the van door and pulls Ronnie out with him. John exits the front exterior street same time. Cindy, Patty, and Barbara in Cindy's car. Pretty greedy not sharing Ronnie. You've had him 2 weeks.
You mean she attacked him for 2 weeks?
Well, first of all, you still have Bobby. Secondly, if I recall, you dumped Ronnie. That made him public property.
Oh, real romantic. It sounds like a restroom. I just didn't think my best friends would be scraping and clawing to go out with him.
Why not? He's cute, sweet.
Good.
They both shoot Patty a look.
A lady never talks.
Next time I see one, I'll remember that.
Exterior house later. Ricky, John, and Ronnie huddle in the neighbor's bushes, dividing up the bombs.
Piece of cake. We divert them on each flank and use the shit bomb the front door. Simple.
Before Ronnie can protest, they're off in the darkness, leaving him the shit bomb. Exterior Worm house, same time. Mr. Worm walks the back porch with flashlight. Little Worm is in the bushes with a hose, and Kenneth holds a rope hidden behind a big vase on the front porch. Ricky is poised behind a tree with tomatoes. John is set at the other side of the house with eggs ready. Ricky throws a tomato and knocks the flashlight out of Mr. Worman's hand. Mr. Worman falls. Little Worman hears this, drops the hose, and heads towards the back porch. John showers him with eggs. All hell was broken loose. Ricky yells to Ronnie.
Do it now.
Ronnie hesitates. Ricky yells again. We hear Johnny yell. Ronnie takes a deep breath and runs the front door and throws the ship bomb. Direct hit as he turns to escape. A net falls over his head. He's trapped and struggling. Kenneth flips on the floodlights. Ricky and John take off for safety. I got one of them. Mr. Worm and Little Worm are tangled in the hose.
Ah, hold the little bastard!
Kenneth approaches the struggling prisoner. He now recognizes Kenneth. Kenneth is shocked. Ronnie is trembling.
I'm coming!
The two former best friends stare at each other. Beat. Kenneth lifts the net, allowing Ronnie to escape into the darkness. Just as his father and his brother arrive late, there must have been a hole in the net.
We'll get him next year.
I don't think so. And here, Cindy's car, same time. The girls drive by running, Ricky and John. Ronnie brings up the rear exterior Worman's house morning. Ronnie knocks on the window, adjusts into the front door, awaits no answer. He leaves. We now see the door. It says wet paint sign on it. We see a curtain move in Kenneth's house. Kenneth looks out at Ronnie walking away. Interior Mancini house late afternoon. Cindy and Mrs. Mancini begin to clear the dining room table at their sparse Thanksgiving supper.
Seeing Brent tonight.
Yeah, a movie. How about you?
I'm going out with Rock.
Again? Don't you deserve better, Mom?
Mrs. Mancini half nods in agreement. Cindy exits with the turkey. Interior Miller House night, Thanksgiving supper in the Miller dining room. David finishes slicing some turkey. Chucky is demonstrating mini guillotine chopping off the head of a doll dressed in 18th century French nobleman. No one, especially Ronnie, can eat while this demonstration is occurring. It's gross. This is going to lock. It's going to lock me an A in French class. Down comes Dad's shank blade and off with this booger's head. Chucky demonstrates the doll's head rolls off the table. Interesting work, Chuck. I love show and tell.
Looks more like show and smell to me.
Chucky glares at Ronnie, then eventually smiles as he pulls an envelope from beneath the table. Smell this, sibling. Do I detect a report card? Chucky and proudly hands David his card, then eyes Ronnie. Let's see yours, Ron. Chucky releases the guillotine again. The head rolls to Ronnie's plate.
I didn't get mine yet.
You're the one from kindergarten to college. Who didn't? You didn't get yours.
Let me repeat. I did not get my report card.
Relax. There's no need to raise your voice. Ronnie lowers his head and eats his turkey. Exterior movie theater night. Cindy approaches a movie theater with another handsome college guy, Brent. Brent doesn't even hold the door open for her, and it's almost hits Cindy in the face. Interior movie theater. They stop in the lobby, the refreshments area. Brent throws some loose bills to Cindy. A few fall to the floor.
Chili dogs, some nachos, extra peppers, medium popcorn, and a large orange. Very little ice.
Brent walks to the men's room entrance. Cindy picks the dollar bills off the floor. She's pissed. Interior Miller's house later. David reads Chucky's grades. 1A. 3 B's. 2 C's. Bravo.
Big improvement, Chucky.
Big deal. 3 B's, 2 C's. I'm getting straight A's since birth. So, you're questioning the whereabouts of my report card real fair.
Aren't you overreacting?
Yeah, it's only parental concern, bro.
Here's the primate example. You're raising a doll-chopping homicidal maniac. And what do you do every time you see him? You give him money. Great.
I think we've heard enough. Now you can apologize to your mother and brother. Ronnie gets up and leaves. David is about to follow until Judy waves him down. Chilling. Shut up. I was talking to my dad. Oh. Sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't help that.
Travis, you know that, right?
What?
You just told yourself to shut up.
I did. Yeah, pretty much. Oh my god. I'm sorry.
Continue.
No, you have to say
Shut up, Chuck.
thank you. Interior theater lobby later. Brent exits the bathroom. Cindy stands there loaded down with 2 trays. He offers no assistance.
I thought I said extra peppers.
How thoughtless of me.
Ugh, I don't want to miss the beginning.
Brent enters the theater, leaving the loaded down Cindy to fend for herself. She stands there. Brent comes back out.
Are you coming or not?
Not.
Cindy dumps the entire tray on Brent and storms out of the lobby. Interior Ronnie's room, we see a report card. 1C, 3 Ds, 1 F, 1 incomplete. Pull back to reveal Ronnie looking at his report card. He shakes his head in disgust and falls onto his bed. A knock at the door. Ronnie quickly rolls over onto his report card. David enters. He sees Ronnie squirming in his stomach. The report card itches.
Just have an itch on my stomach.
Scratching might help. Ronnie stops squirming.
Okay, I know why you're here, and I'll apologize to Mom and Chuck. Sorry I got so hyper.
There goes that speech.
Sorry, Dad. Go ahead and make the speech.
Lighten up, Chuck. Remember, this is a family. We stick with each other. What's ours is yours, okay? They smile at each other as David turns to leave.
Okay. Dad,
David stops, looks back.
can you spot me a 20?
David drops a 20 on Ronnie's desk as he exits. Ronnie smiles and talks to himself.
Sure beats mowing lawns.
Interior Mancini's house night. Cindy enters, stops as she sees her mom.
What are you doing home?
You were right. I do deserve better.
Cindy smiles, hugs her mom.
That makes the two of us.
They separate. Mr. Mancini holds Cindy's shoulders.
Mr. Mrs.
Mrs., excuse me.
How about a late movie?
It's a date.
They laugh, arm in arm. They exit. Interior school hallway morning. Kenneth exits class with Ronnie in hot pursuit.
Come on, Ken. It's been long enough. Let me explain. Talk to me.
Kenneth won't even look at Ronnie. Ronnie follows him until he sees John and Ricky come around the corner. Ronnie now pretends he is yelling at someone.
Have it your way, psycho, but you aren't invited.
Invited to what? Where and when?
All you dudes are invited to my house New Year's Day to scope the bowl games. My mom's investing in 2 6-foot subs, and she makes the best homemade chocolate cake. This item is Sarah Lee.
Book us a couch.
They high-five as they walk down the hallway. They stop.
Somebody wants your ass.
Ricky and John, ooh and ah.
Ooh.
Who?
Ronnie looks confused.
A damsel in distress. A wench in waiting. A nip in the need.
Ricky and John rush off. Ronnie's still confused.
What?
Ronnie turns Iris, leans on her locker, staring seductively at him. Note the lockers are decorated. Yeah, we know that. Iris has him in her sights. Ronnie stares at Iris. A tap on his shoulder startles Ronnie. He turns to see smiling Cindy.
Hi. Long time no talk.
Yeah, I've been kind of busy.
I thought you and I could check out the graveyard library again.
Cindy is only kidding behind being nice. Ronnie doesn't appreciate the humor.
You're not under a contractual obligation anymore, remember?
I know. I just thought that maybe we could spend some time together.
Why?
Quinn approaches his locker. Ronnie sees him. Cindy doesn't. He's within hearing range.
Because I like being with you.
What? You ignored the Donald Miller dork for 17 years. Now I'm the Ronster and suddenly you want to be with me again?
I don't understand.
I do. You want to ride the Ronnie Miller Express?
I don't want to ride the Ronnie Miller anything.
Quint gives Ronnie a raised first of approval fist of approval as he leaves. Ronnie then looks at Iris, who is smiling at him.
Looks like you're the only one.
Cindy looks at Iris, essentially pouting towards Ronnie.
Big challenge. She's given more rides than Disneyland.
At least your tickets won't cost me $1,000.
Cindy is hurt beyond repair. She looks at Ronnie, shakes her head, and storms off. Ronnie feels some instant remorse, takes a few steps towards the feeling Cindy, but is blocked by Iris. Ronnie manages a smile for the sex kitten. Meow. Exit house night. Cars jammed in the driveway on the street. Quint pulls up a motorcycle. He rides his bike on the sidewalk and onto the porch. Perks pulls a bottle of wine from his bike pouch and opens the door. Quint pounds his fist as he snaps his fingers.
Quintone, who's in? Let the fun begin.
Quint is totally ignored by the reveling partygoers. Interior house, the big New Year's Eve party is on full blast. All the cools are here, strictly A-list, drinking, mingling hats. Noisemaker, John and Ricky bump into each other. John's date is the cute sophomore who learned where the sperm gland is. John's date is out of earshot.
She's pretty hot. If you're into Q-tips. What? Be careful. This one's heavily into ears.
John looks confused as he grabs the sophomore girl and walks away. The punch bowl. Cindy's soaking it up. She's tipsy. Barbara enters with a jug of pink punch. Cindy, he's on the infamous white jacket.
Powerful punch, Barb.
I didn't pour the punch in yet. That's straight 112 proof. Oh, I remember Jungle Juice. Good time. Doesn't phase Cindy. She drinks more. Barbara pets the jacket. The ultra intense jacket.
Yeah, my mom said I could wear it.
No way.
I just asked and she said yes.
Progressive concept. Quint has the attention of a very attractive girl.
Excuse me, being a senior adds sophistication to your character. I've learned to appreciate the finer things in life.
The attractive girl appears impressed.
I even travel with my own wine. You never know the quality you may encounter at a social function.
Quint twists the top off cheap bottle of wine.
Very classy.
Yes, I'm in a class. It's my new thing.
Quint chugs the wine. The girl rolls her eyes. She knows better.
How impressive. Must be an import.
Of course. It's New York State. Plattsburgh, I believe.
Excuse me, Mr. Consensual, but I have to blow dry my face.
An insulted Quint turns to chase the departing girl and grabs some nearby jock.
Who's that uppity babe? Hold on, sorry, my co-star is being a little fucking bitch. All right. And brand new transfers from Chicago. Huh, makes sense. I haven't lost it. I need a local. Yo, babe.
A cute girl approaches Quint. She's excited, but not bright.
Ricky and John told me you're a gourmet.
No shit. Huh. How about some of my personal stock? Rare vintage.
The cute girl chugs the wine. Quint is smiling again. To her house later. Hear the party noise off stage. Cindy wobbles down a dim, empty hallway, drink in the hand. The girl is wasted. She opens the door. A sneaker flies past her head. She closes the door. Cindy tries another door. It's locked. Cindy opens a third and enters a dimly lit room. She hears voices and approaches another door, cracked open. She stops a few feet from the slightly open door. Interior bathroom. The dim beam of light entering the bathroom reveals Ronnie and Iris. Ronnie sits on the closed toilet. Iris leans against the shower door. They are clothed.
Oh my god, I like being near you, like the hottest guy in school.
Because I'm a big shot, the way the football players are during the season.
I only go out with dignitaries and high school heads of state. Ugh, duh.
Ronnie grins as he leans towards Iris. He puts his hand on her leg. Cindy watches.
You mean a lot to me. Like, I want you to know that you'll respect me in the morning.
Babe, you're right into my thoughts. You're bound within my soul.
Ronnie pulls her panties down from under her skirt as she undergoes his shirt. Cindy's face is contorted with hurt and anger. She can't stop watching. Ronnie goes for the clothes.
When we're apart, you're still there for me to hold.
Iris swoons. She I just love saying it. She takes off her shirt, leans Ronnie back, and she wraps herself around. Cindy freaks silently. She leaves, stumbling out of the room. Interior house later, the living room is alive with activity. Jocks play bobbing for beer, dunking your head in a tube of water to lift a beer by the plastic six-pack wrapper with your teeth. With John, his sophomore date, generic Jock and Clint, Ronnie and Iris approach hand in hand, tight in thrust.
11:27, T-minus 33 minutes.
Ronnie squeezes Iris.
This is the only way to fly. True friends and a loyal lady.
John raises a beer.
I'll drink to that. This sure beats watching Dick Clark watching a bunch of people watch a ball drop.
Or worse, being stuck in a car at midnight. That's a complete loser situation.
They all nod in agreement. Iris raises a beer.
Oh my god, a toast to the rockster! Woo!
Our main man.
Group heartily toasts the beaming Ronnie.
May next year kick this year's ass.
Exterior house porch. A hand knocks on the front door. Pull back from the hand to see the back of a jacket. University of Texas football team. Yeah, the front door opens. It's Ricky. Ricky's POV. Bobby Hilton, Cindy's boyfriend. Good looking, big. Bobby enters. They shake.
Damn, Bobby, what the hell are you doing here?
I just got off the plane from Texas. Haven't even unpacked yet.
I saw the touchdown on TV. Some serious moves, dude.
Thanks, man. You've seen Cindy?
Bobby looks into the main room. Bobby sees Ronnie as the center of attention. He's approached by Quint and the generic Jock.
The man, the myth. What's happening, Star?
Quint hugs Bobby and the generic Jock pats Bobby on the back.
Quinton. Who's Iris's victim? You got it backwards, buddy. He's victimizing her. Ronnie Miller's nailed every babe in school.
Bobby thinks for a second.
Ronnie Miller? He was 180'd. He couldn't get nailed in wood shop.
Well, he's reached legendary status around these parts.
Need I remind you, boys? You ain't legend till you've scored the captain of the cheerleaders.
Ricky, Quint, and the generic Jock all give each other a look. No one knows what to say. Bobby looks at his friends suspiciously.
Not possible. No fucking way.
Ricky, Quint, and the generic Jock stare at their feet. Bobby grabs Quint.
Come on, Quint. Don't think of fucking holding out on me.
Quint reluctantly nods. Yes, Bobby moves past the guys. He spots Cindy, grabs her arm, and drags her into the kitchen past Patty and Barbara. Patty and Barbara stand at the kitchen door.
Cindy and Bobby's relationship. It's totally together.
Barbara nods in agreement. John sincerely bobs a beer. He pops the top and gives it to Ronnie. Inaudible screaming can be heard from the kitchen. Some of the painters pick up on it. Cindy and Bobby burst out on the kitchen. Cindy trails Bobby red-faced. Bobby nearly knocks over the paint and Barbara, who were trying to listen in at the door.
We were only faking.
Bullshit.
It was an act. He paid me.
Then you're a fucking prostitute.
The young revelers quiet down. Bobby turns and leaves. Cindy turns to face Ronnie, tipsy and upset. She yells,
You!
The party is silent except for the stereo. Cindy throws her drink. It hits the turntable. The music stops. It's now quieter than BF Hutton commercials. Cindy looks directly at Ronnie. Iris hangs on him.
It's all because of you and your fucking deal. Even Bobby thinks we really went out. Ha!
Cindy is a combination of laughter and crying.
You all believed we were a couple. $1,000 to pretend I liked him. He bought me off to buy you.
Kids are starting to back away from the stunned Ronnie. Even Iris releases her grip.
He knew you'd worship him if we went out. He was sick of being a nobody.
Barbara tries to calm Cindy, but is brushed aside.
Cars. That stupid dance. Oh, what a bunch of followers. At least I got paid. He used us.
A wobbly Cindy almost falls. Patty and Barbara grab her and exit for the kitchen. Some of the stunned and silent cools begin to leave the room. Others just move away from Ronnie. Ricky and John linger.
Ricky, John,
Ricky and John reluctantly turn their backs. Ronnie's eyes are red. He's in shock. It's deathly quiet. He stands alone in the middle of the room. All backs are turned on him. Ronnie talks to anybody who will listen. No one does.
yo, guys, there's some major communications problem here. Guys? Well, we'll clear it up at school tomorrow. Everything's cool.
Ronnie backs out of the room, shunned. Ronnie bumps into Iris, who is trying to hide behind a baker's rack in the foyer. Ronnie looks at the fidgety Iris.
I don't know you.
You sure knew me earlier.
Oh, I don't think you know what you were talking about,
Iris leaves before Ronnie can utter a word. He turns and looks back at the backs, and they return on him. He then opens the door and exits to the cold night air. Alone, Ronnie hears the music crank up in the house. Exterior, street later. Kenneth, Albert, Lester, and Donald in a car stopped at a red light.
I can't believe we're not watching Dick Clark.
At least we got out. We can see all the parties going on.
That we weren't invited to.
11:49 and we're in an Olds 98.
Gosh, this is fun.
Kenneth shoots Donald a look. He then looks out the window. It's better than walking around alone like that poor loser. The four nerds all nod in agreement. The light turns green and the Olds takes off. The loser walking alone. It's Ronald. Exterior Miller house. Later, Ronald sees the lights and warmth at his home. Ronald approaches the picture. Ronald peeks in to see Chuck's preteen New Year's Eve party. A dozen 12-year-olds have noisemakers, music, soda, chips. Ronald has his face pressed against the glass. He hears inside. A couple does the African anteater ritual. Interior Miller house. Inside the house, Ronald's POV.
Your brother really invented this dance?
Sure did. The man is a king. He's the prince of parties. Ronnie knows all, does all, invents all. He's at 3 parties with 10 girls as we speak. He probably won't even be home tonight. The preteens are all very impressed. Exterior Miller house. Ronnie shivering on the porch. He realizes he can't go in the house. He stares at the preteens jumping up and down. It must be the new year. Ronnie walks on the side of his house. He hears fireworks and horns in the distance. Ronnie approaches a shed and enters it. It is the lawnmower shed. He grabs a burlap bag and wraps it around himself in it, lying it on a bed of grass, and leaves a way to greet the new year alone. A teardrop falls down his cheek. Interior Miller kitchen morning. Judy's put on the icing on a chocolate cake. Chucky organizes soda and chips. David unloads 2 6-foot sub sandwiches.
You sure we shouldn't call someone? It's 11:30.
I'm telling you, Ma, Ronnie. David and Judy give each other a look and mouth Ronnie. It's the first time Chucky has called him Ronnie. He is lying in some warm place with his arms wrapped around some warm. Offstage, the front door slams. David, Judy, and Chucky exit the foyer. There stands a disheveled and haggard Ronnie. Ronnie has grass and leaves on his rumpled clothing. Big night, huh? Ronnie nods.
Oh, wash up. Oh, wash up. Your buddies will be here any minute.
Ronnie doesn't look too sure as he heads up the stairs. That's my boy. Our boy. Interior Ronnie's room later. Ronnie is wrapped in a towel. His hair is wet. Ronnie is on the phone with his black book open. He's frantic.
He's gotta be home. It's New Year's Day. Where the heck would he be? Studying? Nah, he hasn't studied in 4 years.
Interior is Ricky's kitchen. Ricky is in his underwear waving instructions to his mother. Interior Miller living room later. Judy, David, and depressed Chucky watch TV. The food is untouched. Interior Ronnie's room are frustrated. Ronnie is still on the phone. Interior John's house. John is in his bathrobe coaching his mother, who has her hand covering the mouthpiece.
I can't tell him you've moved.
Good point. Tell him I died.
Interior Ronnie's room later. Ronnie slams the phone. He's frazzled. He gets an idea and picks up the phone. Interior Kenneth's house. The phone rings. Kenneth, Lesnar, Albert, Donald, and the Worms watch the games. A tasty spread of subs, chips, sodas, and chocolate cake adds to the fun. The phone rings again. Kenneth answers it. You have dialed a number that is no longer in service. Please check your directory and don't call again. Interior Ronnie's room. Ronnie hangs up the phone, rejected and dejected. He falls on his bed. Interior Cindy's room. Late afternoon. Mrs. Mancini enters, her hand over a phone mouthpiece. Cindy lays on her bed, staring at the ceiling.
It's Patty again.
I still don't feel like talking to anybody.
Okay, I'll add her to the list with Ricky, Barbara, John, Iris, and Bobby.
Interior Miller living room. Late afternoon. A depressed Chucky clears the untouched soda cans. David is freezer wrapping the two huge untouched subs. Judy stares at the chocolate cake. Exterior high school morning. Ronnie looks at the entrance of his high school. He summons his strength and enters the tail end of the morning rush. Interior high school hallway. Later, Ronnie feels strange. Looks as he walks the hallways, or is it his imagination? Ronnie stops. He faces the cool hallway as he begins to traverse the hallway. The music and laughter fade as he prepares to say hello to each other. To each cluster of kids, they turn their backs. John and Ricky pretend they are getting books. Iris rushes off to class. Patty and Barbara turn. Cindy turns but continues to watch Ronnie as he passes out of the hall. Somehow, Ronnie has kept his head up. He hears the music, laughter, and noise crank up once he's exited the hall. Ronnie approaches his locker. He stops as he sees $1,000 in his Monopoly money glued to his locker. He hears some kids off stage laughing. Ronnie removes the play money from his locker. Interior cafeteria later. Lunchtime. Ronald exits the kitchen with milk and a lunch bag. As he makes his way to the aisle of the tables, the cafeteria quiets down. He looks at the cool table and keeps walking. Ronnie passes Kenneth and the nerd table. Ronald finally stops at a table looking in oblivion. It is occupied by a motley crew of misfits. When Ronald sits, the misfits get up and move. A jam-packed cafeteria, and Ronald is the only one to sit at a table alone. The cool table. They sneak glances toward Ronald as they eat.
He's in
He's been
Siberia.
banished.
I'm very far.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was like, am I on the wrong page?
Nope, I am.
No worries. He's in Siberia. Even the mutants won't sit near him.
You know, he was scamming us all along.
Yeah, he was scamming us all along. All not in agreement with Barbara. Cindy's studying at the end of the cool table over here.
Like he went from totally chic to totally geek.
The cool is all not in agreement again. Quint takes brownies from Ricky and John. He needs them. The geek squad, Kenneth, Albert, and Lester and Donald eating lunch.
He's been banished.
He should have known that our kind doesn't mix with their kind, even for $1,000.
Our kind. Their kind. It's all BS. He'd be a leper now, but he had the fast lane for 4 months.
Good point. 250 a month for those cheerleaders. It's not an unwise investment.
But Ronald will be living the downside risk for the next 6 months.
They all nod in agreement. Quint nonchalantly tosses a brownie over his shoulder. Ronald unwraps a sub sandwich for lunch. A brownie molded to look like a piece of shit smashes onto Ronald's table. He manages to ignore the next one. Bambi Leprock, captain of the girls' wrestling team, stares down at Ronald. She wears a girls' wrestling shirt. Ronald looks up.
Didn't you take economics? You could have had me for $49.95.
Wow, all at once. Bambi Leprock laughs and walks off. More laughter in the background. Ronald tries to remain composed, but the laughter is too much as he gets up and briskly exits the cafeteria. All the kids, including Cindy and Kenneth, watch Ronald leave. Interior movie theater lobby night. Chucky, David, and Judy carry sodas, tubs of popcorn. Tubs of popcorn. Oh yeah, I can't believe he's turning down a free movie.
Still you.
He hasn't gone out since New Year's, son.
Studies come first when you're a senior.
It's like the old Ronald's return from the dead. Woo! Woo! Chucky hums on the Twilight Zone theme. Interior classroom morning biology class. Kenneth observes Ronnie studiously taking notes and paying absolute attention. He's into it.
Now the quiz will cover every muscle from the levitator scopa to the spinalis thoracis. I should know how to say that right. I'm the biology teacher.
Biology teacher for now. Kenneth looks outside his POV girls' gym class. He spots Cindy, Barbara, and Patty. He stares at them until the bell rings. Interior school later. A long, empty hallway. Ronald enters. Cindy enters from the other end. They see each other. Ronald tenses, slows. Cindy looks down, slows. They are getting closer. Cindy looks up, closer still. Ronald looks down, closer, 20 feet apart. Ring. The bell sounds. A massive classroom exodus fills the halls. The wave carries Cindy and Ronald past each other. Ronald looks back at Cindy. Exterior, Miller House night. The house is dark except for one window. Interior, Ronald's room. He's in the room studying with various textbooks scattered about. He puts down his chemistry book, rubs his eyes. He's tired. Ronald picks up another book off his nightstand. It's his high school yearbook. He opens a dog-eared page. He stares at a half-page picture of Cindy Mancini in a cheerleader pose. The tired Ronald takes off his glasses and lays his head down on top of the picture of Cindy. He rolls over and reaches for the phone. Interior Mancini house night. Cindy is signaling Mrs. Mancini to say she's not home.
I'll tell her that you called again.
Interior Ronald's room. A disappointed and frustrated Ronald hangs up the phone. Interior Mancini house. Mrs. Mancini and Cindy in their kitchen.
First he's a geek, and then you spend a lot of time with him, and now he's a geek again and you won't talk to him? I don't even know what a geek is.
At the present time, a geek is Ronald Miller.
Who says?
Society.
Cindy starts to exit. She stops.
Is society always right?
Cindy shrugs and leaves. Exterior street night. Ronald slouches in his father's car as he cruises past friendlies on a busy Saturday night. The Cools packed up party parking lot. Ricky, John, and others jocks wore school baseball uniforms. Ronald gets stuck at a red light, and directly in front of the lot, he slouches out of sight. Exterior friendlies lot. Sounds like a Stephen King thing there. Cindy
Keep
stands
going.
with Barbara, and they recognize Ronald's car. However, they see no driver. Smiles. It's the Nerdmobile.
An automatic pilot. What a weirdo. Like, we're not supposed to know he's spying on us in his spazmobile?
I could have sworn that some girls I know got very comfortable in that spazmobile.
This gets to Patty and Barbara, who suddenly drive to their attention elsewhere. Cindy watches the driverless car go through the green light. the faintest of smiles on her face. Interior video parlor later, Kenneth plays a video game. He notices Ronald's reflection in the video game glass. Uncomfortable silence.
I thought we could talk.
Silence. Kenneth continues to play.
At least you acknowledge my existence. You don't think this is easy for me?
It's easy for me to lose my best friend. You walked all over me. I was your friend and I did it for free. No strings, no payoff.
I know I was a total asshole to you and thousands of others. But it's you that I want to straighten this out with.
You shit on my house. Kenneth turns to his video game. Ronald turns and slowly walks out of the parlor. Kenneth watches him out of the corner of his eye. Interior school hallway day. Ronald following someone through the semi-crowded hallways. He is no longer chastised by his fellow schoolmates. Now he is merely ignored. A determined Ronald keeps up with his prey through the maze. Prey through the maze of students and hallways. We now realize he is tracking Cindy. He seems to be waiting for her to be alone or isolated. Cindy now picks up Ronald and makes the tracking more difficult. She approaches a girl room and enters. Ronald stops and frustrated. Ronald waits. The bell rings and a few girls rush out of the bathroom. Now, no Cindy. Ronald looks both ways. The coast is clear. He goes in. Interior girls' bathroom. Ronald surveys the room. He spots a pair of feet in a stall. He addresses the stall.
I'm truly sorry for having to come in here, but I really wanted to talk to you, and I can't do it in public, and I can't ever get you at home. Look, I realized what a jerk I became. All I was ever thinking about was you. Always dreaming of being part of your life. And I got the stupid idea and let it turn me into something I'm not.
The toilet flushes. Ronald jumps back. The stall opens. It's the big Mrs. Hagmere. She's fuming.
Oh, you sure did, you sicko pervert!
Ronnie is stunned. He tries to turn for it, but Mrs. Hagmere gets a hold of his ear and drags him through the girls' room.
I remember you from the dance, you morally depraved psycho!
Oh,
Ronald is dragged from the room. The stalls, a pair of feet come into view. The stall door opens. It's Cindy. She releases the slightest of laughs, a mere titter of pity for Ronald's bad luck. Exterior convenience store afternoon. Chucky and his buddies approach. Chucky stops to them. Their POV. Cindy is in the store looking at magazines. You boys wait here. I got to check this chick out. You know her? She's practically my sister-in-law. The buddies are impressed that Chucky mops into the store, interior convenience store. Cindy pursues a Cosmo on the magazine rack. Chucky approaches. He picks up a Soldier of Fortune magazine, edges closer to Cindy. He looks over his shoulder. His buddies have their faces pressed against the glass. You new to my brother?
What?
You took him from geek status to king status to no status?
Chucky Miller.
Chucky nods proudly.
Here.
Cindy reaches into her pocket, hands him a quarter.
Here. Buy some baseball cards and act your age.
Cindy walks out, leaving the stunned Chucky. Exterior convenience store day. Chucky's buddies stand at attention as Cindy storms by. Ronald's room night. He lays in his bed, staring blankly at the walls. He's surrounded by books. Chucky enters. I need to borrow your essay on capital punishment. I'm building a mini electric chair for show and tell. I'm going to fry a Barbie doll. Ronald isn't fazed by Chuck. As Chucky reaches for a stack of notebooks, he sees the open dog-eared yearbook. He sees Cindy's picture. Chucky grabs a notebook. Ronald sits up.
Chuck, this is the lowest thing I may ever do, but I need to ask for your advice.
Wait?
You mean moi?
What?
Good Lord.
Wow.
Suppose you wanted to talk to somebody who didn't want to talk to you. How would you get their undivided attention?
Are we excluding felonies? Okay. You have to get them trapped in a situation where they have to talk to you. In other words, get them hospitalized.
Thanks, Chuck. That was real informative.
Chucky's about to exit. He stops. Good luck. And Ron, we all know about the playoff thing. Ronald sits upright.
Mom and Dad? Thanks for not bringing it up.
I just did. They smile at each other as Chucky exits the room. Exterior Mancini House, sunrise. The early morning mist leaves a layer of dew on the suburban landscape. The only noises are birds chirping. Chirp, chirp. A rabbit hopping on the lawn. Hop, hop. Total tranquility is shattered by a roar of pounding motor. The birds fly away. The rabbit turns from his ear-shattering noise. It's Ronald Miller mowing the Mancini lawn. Uh, Interior Cindy's room. Cindy is awakened. She looks on the clock. 5:58 a.m. Cindy looks out the window and sees Ronald at the mower. Exterior Mancini's house later. Ronald is having a ball of zigzags of the Mancini lawn. Cindy approaches him. Wearing sweats, she's not pleased. Ronald waves hello. Cindy signals him to cut the engine.
My mom was calling the police until I told her you had a chemical imbalance and were seeking psychiatric help.
You think I'm nuts?
No, just deranged. I want an explanation and I want it now.
I just want to talk to you. Alone.
Ever think of school or the telephone?
Every time I tried you on the phone, you were either washing your hair, taking a bath, or out of the country. I tried school and got a month of detention.
Cindy manages to hold back a smile.
I heard about the girls' room thing. You seem to spend a lot of time in the bathroom.
Ronald understands her reference.
Just hear me out, please.
Cindy folds her arms, lets Ronald proceed.
I was so pissed at you New Year's Eve. And now I realized you did me a favor. I was becoming so cool that I became a jerk. I lied to my parents, stopped caring about school. I even shit on my only true friend's house.
Cindy reacts to this.
Yeah, popularity created a monster. Me. I wanted to thank you for what you did. Bring me back to reality. Because reality is what I do best.
Cindy shuffles her feet. She is beginning to feel for his situation.
I'm not proud of what happened. I helped you change.
All I wanted was to be close to you. And when I finally got there, it wasn't me anymore. Cindy, I was hoping that you and I could sort this out. The real me and the real you.
Not at 6 a.m.
I'll come back at 11.
Cindy shuffles her feet. Ronnie hangs in anticipation.
I'll be washing my hair out of the country.
Cindy turns and walks away. Ronald is accepting defeat. He goes to start the motor, stops, better not. He takes a deep breath and starts to push the motor. Interior Cindy's room later, she peeks out her window at Ronald pushing his mower. It is a sad sight. Cindy then looks down at the leather-bound poetry book that Ronald gave her. She picks up the book and the pen. Cindy sits down on her bed. Interior cafeteria day, jammed at lunchtime. Quint walks by a table of a little sophomore boys, spots a nice lemonade sandwich about to enter a sophomore's mouth. Quint snatches it. The sophomore bites his hand. We pan to see Cool sitting in their area. The nerds sit in their place. Every table is crowded and alive except one. Ronald sits alone, eating another sub sandwich. Mr. Wembley and Miss Hagmere monitor the activity. Ronald looks up to see Kenneth sitting with Patty in the Cool section. He's both surprised and impressed. Cool area, Kenneth and Patty a math book opened on the table. The important thing is to get all the fractions to their lowest denominator. Then you can work the variables. Patty tries it.
Is that right?
Good job, one more. Quint sits down with Ricky and John. The boys have their baseball gloves and pads on the table. They see Kenneth and Patty, but from their POV, they can't see he's tutoring.
Nerd alert. It's in our quadrant.
Can it worm in with Patty? No way. The chump has nerve entering the room-free zone.
This is bullshit. Kenneth Wormman is trying to pull a Ronald McDonald Miller on us. He's probably trying to pay her off.
Quint gets up. Ricky and John try to wave him back down.
Relax, dude. He's harmless.
Fuck no, I'm sending him back to the minor leagues.
Quint approaches Kenneth. He and Patty have closed their books.
Thanks. I'd still be lost without your help.
No problem. Just take your time and follow the steps. Kenneth gets up and turns to see Quint towering over him.
What the hell you think you're doing over here, Weezoid?
I was just here helping her with some math. Most of the students have now spotted the confrontation.
Bullshit! You're pulling a Ronald Miller scam.
What? Patty is too intimidated to intervene. Cindy looks at John and Ricky to do something they want. No part of this. Ronald has been watching this scene play out. Albert, Lester, and Donald would like to crawl under their table.
I told him to stay out of their section.
It's our school too.
Tell that to Rambo over there.
Point well taken.
Mr. Wembley and Mrs. Angry are moving towards the troubled spot. Ronald puts the sandwich down and gets up. Quint holds Kenneth by the shirt.
I'm gonna send you back to Geeksville in a milk carton.
Quint picks up Kenneth by the shirt. Cindy looks up to Ricky and John.
Do something.
Quint and Kenneth see Ronald approach. The place is silent. All are watching. Quint lets Kenneth down but continues to hold the shirt.
Return to the living dread.
You lay off him. He's not hurting anyone.
Go back to where you belong, hothead.
Arnold picks up a baseball bat. On Ricky and John's table, Mr. Emily stops Mr. Hangmere from interfering.
Take your hand off of Kenneth, or I'll break your arm. You're
Don't make... Oh, shit, I'm sorry. I just got excited about punching your face.
I'm gonna break your pitching arm.
Fuck. Don't make me laugh, twerp. Huh.
Go. Now.
Ronald smashes the bat and pay with a food flying. Quint releases Kenneth. He takes Ronnie seriously.
Kenneth picked you up and we carried you. Oh, sorry. You had a broken arm once before, remember? You fell out of our tree house.
Quint eases.
Yeah. Kenneth picked you up and we carried you 12 blocks to the hospital.
Yeah, you were crying all the way. Ronnie shoots Kenneth a look. Don't blow this, Quint remembers.
We were all friends then. Good friends. Remember? And now you want to end his life because he's talking to Patty on your side of the cafeteria? It's stupid.
Silence as they all listen to Ronald.
I know. That's where I want to be. Your side with your crowd. I messed up. I tried to buy in. But Kenneth? He isn't buying anything. He's just talking, making friends.
Quint is wilting. Ronald drops the bat.
Cools, nerds, your side, my side. It's total bullshit. It's tough enough being yourself. I don't know.
Ronald said enough. He walks out of the cafeteria, the crowd of students making a path for him. He's made an impression on all, from Iris to Albert, from Cindy to the matronly teacher. Quint looks down at Kenneth. He extends his hand. They shake. John claps. Albert and Lesser clap. The whole cafeteria is clapping for Kenneth and Quint, and indirectly Ronnie. Cindy does not clap. She observes the ovation Ronald has caused. Interior Miller Kitchen Day. We see a report card. Straight A's. Pull back to see Ronald's name on it. A proud David magnets it to the fridge door. A phone rings. Interior Ronald's room. Chucky and Ronald watch wrestling on Chuck's portable TV. They are eating sub sandwiches. We see the computer disc on his hand. He got it. See that guy? The Cranium Crusher? He weighs over 500 pounds, and that guy's grubby as Sleesnick. He's never bathed or showered his whole life. Ronald doesn't buy that, but he shows interest.
What's that thing with the mask?
Judy sticks her head in the door. She addresses Ronald.
Mrs. Mancini wants you to cut her lawn at a reasonable hour.
You can't expect a future Harvard man to cut grass. I'll do it. Ronald stops at Chucky. He gets up. Exterior Mancini lawn day. Ronald is moving away. He occasionally looks at the house. No sign of Cindy. A convertible holding Patty, Barbara, and three good-looking college guys pulls into the Mancini driveway. Looks like a triple date. They honk the horn. Cindy comes out of the front door. Mrs. Mancini stops her on the porch and hands Cindy some money. Ronald watches Cindy walk towards him. He stops. Cindy smiles and hands him the money. Ronald accepts it with a nod and a smile. Ronald continues cutting the lawn as he watches Cindy get in the car. Patty and Barbara give him a token wave. He sees the car take off. Ronald cuts around a long hedge. Ronald finishes the last strip of grass and heads home on his mower. Ronald exits the Mancini driveway and turns around a bunch of trees. There stands Cindy blocking his path. Ronald stops his mower. They look at each other. They smile at each other. Cindy gets on the mower and wraps her arms around Ronald. They ride off in the sunset. X is the end.
That was great. Karina, oh my goodness. I never knew such words could come out of your mouth. But
Thanks, I
everyone
thought
did a beautiful job. If you were watching, thank you very much and have a good night.